everybody, my name is Frankie McDonald. You're watching the SimpCast with Chrissie Mayr on every Sunday nights. See you then.
I'm Frankie McDonald, and you're watching SimpCast, starring Chrissie Mayr.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
The best podcaster in the world, Chrissie Mayr.
Cardiff, OJ, I like you two a lot more than this guy.
Hey, what's up, my
He was gonna say ninja.
I'm Johnny Knoxville. Today we're going to do a little boxing.
Stop the camera!
Alex, can I read a quick super chat?
Okay, I'll allow it.
From Chrissie Mayr. Love you, Alex. Can Tiffany please say SimpCast is not real? Don't do it. She only paid $20.
No, you can say SimpCast is not real.
I don't know what that is. So
SimpCast is one of my very favorite best friends show, Chrissie Mayr, with a lot of beautiful women. I went on there recently and I got in an argument with an adult film actress named Brandy Love. So
I feel like I shouldn't say anything that I don't know.
Chrissie, she doesn't want to say it, but I'll say
No.
SimpCast is, what did you want to say? SimpCast
It's not real.
SimpCast is not real, but that is a real thing. Okay, it is a real thing, so
But
now
I
we're
didn't wanna,
lying.
I didn't want to upset anybody.
What you listening to, son?
I don't think you like it.
Well, why not? I like this new generation of music.
Here is a story about Keanu and April. They're in a relationship every day. April's from Litchfield. She loves bow hunting and petting a dog. Keanu lives in New York. She loves shopping and talking with her mom on a podcast. Keanu and April are the best. They are the best. They are the best. They are the best.
Mother of God, it's all toilet sound.
Chrissie Mayr, hello. I have been informed that it is your 100th episode. So I wanted to say congratulations for that milestone. It's obvious that your audience doesn't hate you yet because you're still around. Now, if you so happen to get canceled after I submit this video, I'm going to have to invoice you for my time. Okay, so don't let me down. All right, 100. Let's get to 101. All right, can we do that? Can we? All right, very good. Congratulations, Chrissie. I wish you all the best. Have a lovely day.
Are gathered here today to remember Just Pearly Things' YouTube channel is because she got demonetized for being a predator.
All right.
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm coming to you from my $1 million brand new underground bunker that I'm sharing with one Mark Zuckerberg. Just kidding. But Mark, if you are listening, I am very interested in joining your bunker. And I just figured I'd throw my hat in the ring there. But I think those of us should maybe band together and make our own bunker, make our own group bunker. How bad could it be? Okay, I'm just testing my internet here. Let me know if you could. Yes, I'm very sparkly today. I'm very, very sparkly. I'm giving you New Year's Eve telethon energy. And for that, you're welcome. Okay. I got this lovely top. I don't know if you guys watch the Content House at all. But I got this lovely top from the Poconos outlets, which if you've never been to the Poconos, if you're not a skier, if you're not a snowboarder, or let's say maybe you are like an average to decent snowboarder, but you're knocked up and you can't snowboard or do anything fun or physically risky for the next freaking probably rest of your life, but mostly for the next year or so, and you can't snowboard, you can go to the Poconos and you can shop. And I got this very sparkly sweater. It's a cardigan. You can't really tell because of the lighting in here, but it is a button down, and the buttons are clinging for dear life because my pregnant boobs really just are wreaking havoc on all regular clothes. But I refuse to dress myself in a tarp or one of these various maternity potato sacks I see for sale online. So I will not be doing that. I will continue to dress as normally as I can. But yes, welcome. This is our very special early New Year's Eve SimpCast. Yay, give yourselves a round of applause. You could be watching this in your car. You could be watching this in the bathroom, hiding away from your family. Heck, you could have this on in the background with a low volume for your dogs. I don't care how you have it on. Just give yourself a pat on the back. You've made it this far. You're here. I just am blown away at how fast the year has blown by. Like, I really can't believe. I can't believe it's even the year 2000, to be honest. Like, I'm still catching up from Y2K. I still feel like the 90s was 10 years ago, and that's how I'm going to operate. Okay, good. I think everything is working okay. Good. Yes, give yourselves a pat on the back. Give yourselves a little hug. This year was like rough and fun for many different reasons. Thank you so much, Aria. We got a lot of usual suspects in the chat. I know. I was really not feeling myself an hour ago, but you guys like, you know what, bitch? Too bad. Okay. You got to get it up. You got to throw your makeup on, put on a sparkly top. And then before I knew it, I was like, oh, look, I'm in the mood now. I feel like it, and it's almost time for January 6th again. My favorite holiday. Thank you for bringing that up first, Mr. First, because I want to tell you guys about where I will be on January 6th. Let me bring up the calendar, the stand-up comedy calendar. And also, I may have thanked you already, but for everybody who came out to Gino Bisconti's birthday show last Wednesday at Stand Up New York, it was so much fun. We had a great time. Stand Up New York is one of the few comedy clubs that in the city that I like going to / will have me. So we had a great time. Gino was hosting. I went up second because we had a city day, went into the city with my betrothed Frank and our stepson, and we went to this. Oh, good. Lila's here. Lila's here. Happy New Year. Almost.
Happy New Year.
I'm so glad you're here, Lila.
Yay.
I love that you're continuing the Christmas aesthetic with the red and black tartan plaid.
Yes.
I love that. And I was just telling the people that this afternoon is a good example. Like, I felt like just blah. And then I was like, you know what, bitch? go put your makeup on, put on a sparkly top, and guess what? Like you can get yourself up. Like I feel like I could be a motivational speaker in this top. I feel like I could either
Yes.
run a telethon or tell people to get their life back on track. I feel like I could write a motivational book and because I spent most of my 20s hopping from motivational speaker, just looking for someone to sort of guide me. I was a big fan of Matthew Hussey. I don't know if you remember him, but
The dating coach guy?
Yes, he was a
Oh,
dating
God,
guru.
yes.
I took my sister to see Matthew Hussey, and I think I wanna say it was before she met her husband, so it was like the 2010s. She had gone a very hopeless 10 years without a date, and I was like, "Bitch, I can't." And, like, to be honest, we had kind of a not the healthiest relationship, me and her. Like, I don't know if anybody else in the chat listening, like, if there's somebody in your family or a close friend that you sort of feel bad for and you feel like their entire well-being is your responsibility. I sort of had
Yeah.
that with my sister. So I took her to this Matthew Hussey speech
That's
thing
so funny.
at Hunter College in Manhattan. And if you can imagine a room full of like the most sort of desperate, I mean, I was there too. I was there too, but like I was already dating Frank at the time, so I was like, this will help her. And it's Matthew Hussey. He's like this. I guess he's British or whatever. He's some kind of European. You know, sandy blonde hair, coiffed up. He's and I can't remember a thing he stood for or promoted, but I just was like, hey, this guy's just telling us we're all fabulous and we're all like, it was kind of a combination of remember that book He's Just Not That Into You,
Yeah.
and maybe a splash of Sex in the City, but also like coming from a male's perspective, so it was a little bit of like tough love and just a lot of women like telling themselves that they're worth it. But it's like you don't need to spend whatever we spent, $50 a ticket to go listen to this man yell at us in a gym.
That's so funny.
We did that so much, Lila. We both were very much into Gabrielle Bernstein, got all of her books. She has so many. It seems like every other year she's coming out with like a new kind of manifestation book. I bought them all, and then I found that I just became very happy with Frank, and not just Frank, but like my life. And so I was like, I was finding less and less of a need for these books. And I noticed as I got more into comedy, like pursuing my goals with a bit more vigor, I just didn't have time to just sit around and read a fucking self-help book. Not that they can't help anyone. But now that I've zoomed out a bit and it's a few years later, I can definitely see how these types of books and these types of figures can 100% replace the church or a sense of real foundational spirituality. Not that everyone has to be Christian, but
they're all connected. It's all a little culty, even the church.
It is a little culty, Lila.
All of it's culty. And I think I fell into that too, Chrissy. I watched so many Matthew Hussey videos on YouTube.
Thank God. Oh my God. Because I was like, I thought he was such a niche person. I didn't think anybody knew of him. So
no, I think it's like, when you're young and you're looking for love and you're looking for that like acceptance and you want like a leader of some sort. Now I got to tell you, I can't go to leadership conferences or any of those things. You know why? Because I'm sitting there in my seat being like, I should be on that stage. I'm judged. I can't even go to church properly. I'm like, this headliner sucks, AKA the pastor. I'm like, I can't, I don't know. And I remember the last time I went to church, I joined this church. I don't know if I told you the story, but I joined this church and the pastor said something on stage that I felt like it was just like a little weird. So I told somebody in the church, like this girl that invited me to dinner. And then the next Sunday, the pastor goes on stage and he's like, the only people who criticize you are the people who are not doing as much as you. And I'm like, where does it say that in the Bible? And why don't you just call me out, sir? So
I think in 2024, Lila, you need to start a cult this year. it will
Right?
absolutely take off and be a success. Frank
Thanks.
and I started watching, I don't know if it's on Netflix or where, but it's a docu-series about cults. And Frank was like, ooh, cults. Maybe they'll have the cult your grandfather was in. So we're like scrolling through, we're looking for like, because my dad's dad was in the Mooney cult. And it was also known as the Unification Church. And I see it come up, sure enough, like Reverend Moon, Unification Church. I was like, fuck, okay, yeah, fine, let's watch this one. And it opened my eye. Did you know the Moonies are responsible for many things that we don't even think of as cult related? Well, we think of the Washington Times as like part of the liberal cult, but the Moonies actually started the freaking Washington Times, the newspaper.
What?
Yes. I think Reverend Moon started, well, this is, unless this docuseries was lying to me, started the Washington Times because he wanted to hobnob, he wanted to grease elbows with the Washington elite, which is actually a very smart move as a cult leader. And also, God, what was the other thing that the Moonies are responsible for? Sushi. They're 100% responsible for bringing sushi to the United States.
That's
I
so
think they're
funny.
in cahoots with like the largest sushi provider, which I can enjoy now as a pregnant, as a knocked up person, as a future chest feeder. But I was like, this is a neat takeaway. And I wish that I'd never met or spoken to my grandfather, but I kind of wish, I guess this is just part of, getting older. You wish
Mhm.
that your relatives were still alive so you could
Oh,
ask
yeah.
them things. But I'm like, I would want to know all about the damn cult. He broke up with my my grandma, my oma, my dad's mom, and
Mhm.
participated in a mass wedding, in a mass church. He got assigned a random, I think, Asian Korean type chick, and like maybe they met once before and then poof, they were married.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Cults are interesting. I think again, it's just people want that acceptance and like that kind of like looking for that purpose. I mean, hey, YouTube might even be a little bit of a cult, you know? So we're in the cult of live
yes,
stream.
and
Thank you to all our culties who are watching us right now.
instead of dues, we accept super chats. We accept purchasing of tickets to our various shows. Like, for example, Lila and I will be in San Diego, which I don't know if that's Spanish for the whale's vagina, but next weekend. Like, my God, I'm flying out Wednesday. It's
No,
like in
I'm
a
so
couple days.
excited.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember if I initially first told you like Tuesday or Wednesday, but I hope I didn't screw up your travel
It's okay.
plans
I'm
at
getting
all.
there on Tuesday, but it's fine.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I was
it's not a big deal.
sweating
I have
bullets,
friends.
shitting myself. Okay.
It's totally great. I'll just be there a day early and then I'll see you and we'll go have fun.
I think I fully planned on going on Tuesday, and then for some reason it was so much more, like way more money to go Tuesday evening. I don't understand why.
It's so weird.
Um,
Flights are so weird right now. Nothing makes any sense.
Flights are so weird, but we're going to be in San Diego next weekend at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. Me and Lila right here, right now. It's going to be great. We have one show Friday at 7:30, two shows on Saturday, one at 7:30, one at 10 o'clock. There may be some VIPs in the crowd, maybe some OAN VIPs. There may be a Chris Gore. I don't remember if he said he
Yay!
might come.
He's coming for
Yeah.
sure.
I love, last time we were at the iconic Elks Lodge, I think. God, I think you were at that show. Yeah, the Elks
Oh yeah.
Lodge in Pasadena. Still one of my absolute favorite shows. And that was,
That
I
was
think,
great.
that had to be last either January or February or March.
I think we were there March.
Okay,
Because our
March.
show was in February at the Mic Drop.
Okay. Oh, right. That makes sense. And these people shit on the hell, what they consider to be a hell gig, but no, sometimes they're the spice of life.
It
And
was the best.
I remember that crusty, dusty moose head. I'll never forget it. Hanging up on the wall. We got there. It was fully lit. Sometimes, we all, me, Lila, Kiana, we all like to get to the venue like obscenely early because it's just part of like getting into the mode of things, getting your head right, looking at your notes. But we were there so damn early. All the lights were on. They were still setting up chairs, and I was like, within 5 minutes, I felt suicidal because of how bad the room looked and how not ready anything was. And I was like, oh my god, I think I'm just gonna quit after this.
That's so
But
funny.
then it was so much fun, and it was, as long as a place has a stage and liquor, and there's a light shining somewhere in the vicinity of the comic, it's gonna be fine. So,
I had the weirdest shows last night because there was the owner of the comedy club I performed at called me and he wasn't going to be there, so he was like, Lila, can you just I was hosting, but then he was like, can you just run the whole thing? I need you to time and do all of this stuff because he wasn't going to be there. And normally before you get on stage as a host, there's somebody that's like introducing you, like kind of letting the room know, but there was no one there. So I had to be like, give it up for your host, Lila Hart. And then I ran up there and I'm like, it's me.
You're one of the few that can actually like pull that off. People don't realize, like, in this show business, I'm wearing my show business shirt. Like, you got to be able to kind of do it all. And a lot of times no one's going to be there to help you or save you or
No, there was no music, Chrissy. There's
no music.
Introducing
yourself to silence and then being your own hype man and then running up.
And the second show was so small, there was literally 9 people in the crowd.
Oh,
okay, no music, 9 people. But it was so much fun, and I don't know. I had a really good time, and it was good prep. But I kind of took them to some dark places, and I might have scared them a little bit. But I think it was good. And I think it made everybody else have a good time. So sometimes if I'm hosting, I'm like, okay, do I want to like keep it light and clean, or do I just want to like scare the hell out of them? And then they're really like prepped and ready to go. So whatever anybody else says, it's totally fine because I've taken them there.
There's
already.
something really great about a small crowd. You can kind of like take them under your wing, take them into your personal journey, and you can go to a weird place. And it's because it's not that it's yes, you do have to treat it like a real show, and of course still bond with and charm and make these people laugh. But you're like, all right, there's fucking 9 of us. Okay, you could do personalized jokes for everyone. You could like straight up interview each person.
Yeah, it's more of like it's like very intimate. But then when it's like a really big show in a huge crowd, I'm like, okay, I really got to showcase. I got to put out like a pizzazz, perfected performance. That's how it feels. So sometimes when it's like small, I'm like, oh, there's stuff I'm working on. I really just want to test it out. And you guys will be like guinea pigs.
It's fun. It's like low stakes, but not that it's any less important. It's just you have to switch gears a little bit. And there is when it's a packed crowd, you got to turn it up to an 11.
Yeah.
And which you're always great at doing, Lila. And
thanks, Chrissie. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have so much fun.
And then, gosh, we'll be back in Dallas January 25th at Hyenas. Yay! Love that place. And then I'll be in Jersey February 24th, which is luckily only a short car ride away, since I'm not allowed to fly anymore after the beginning of February. And I'll be at Tiff's Ale House February 24th in Morris Plains, New Jersey. So coming out for that. That might be, I'll film that as some sort of, maybe that'll be like my sort of pregnancy special, unless I get something in March or even, fuck it, maybe even April. I'll do it up until the moment my damn water breaks and then live stream that as well.
Chrissie, you should have a pregnancy special.
Is it like, are they done? Has everyone
No, they're not done. No, they're not.
Are people tired of it?
No, they're not. No, it's freaking awesome. You have to.
It's crazy how much shit you can write about it. Like so many other people were like, you're gonna have so much material. And I was like, phooey. But it's really true. Everything that's going on in my body's getting weird. Feelings. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning just sobbing.
Oh my goodness.
And I went to go fill up my water bottle, but because it was dark and I don't put lights on because I'm trying not to wake anybody else up. I filled up my whole water bottle with scalding hot water. I pushed the wrong button on the machine, and then I took a big sip, and I just like burnt the fuck out of my whole mouth. And I was like, yeah, and it spilled the whole thing out. It's fun. And it's all right. But I didn't wake anybody up. So now I think there's no hot water left in the machine, but it's fine. I have some tepid tea. But Lila, you had a big year. You had a big, actually, December. You celebrated your 1 year sober date.
Yeah, it's so wild. But I feel amazing. I feel like I've been it's kind of like being sober. I feel like it's my little superpower. And also it's just, I feel like now I'm at the point where now that I've hit the year, I don't really feel like I need to talk about it as much in such a way like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now it's just, this is it. This is my life now. But okay, my goal for 2024, Chrissy, even though I'm having coffee right now, is to cut back on caffeine completely. I'm not going to be
what?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
No more Celsius, no more energy drinks, no more Red Bull. And I'm only going to have, during shows, a Coca-Cola, because there is something about having a Coke when you're completely sober off of everything, and it makes you giggly and hyper, and it's fun. So
well, yeah, because there's like 50 fucking grams of sugar in that thing.
Yeah, and it's great. So that's gonna be my advice. Is gonna be Coca-Cola, only during shows, and yeah, I'm gonna slow down on caffeine. It's like I don't know if I can give it up completely, but just maybe limit myself to 1 cup early in the morning. If anything.
Let me tell you, the hardest thing about being pregnant was giving up Celsius, because I was having 1 a day, and I would start like not like twitching, but I got maybe mentally addicted to them because they're lovely, they're light, they're like it's a good pick me up if you don't feel like just like doing a coffee moment. It's a good afternoon, like if you're not gonna go for another cup of coffee. And I had them all the time. I would like chug it in and out of the gym, but I think not that I've read somewhere like that energy drinks are not allowed while you're pregnant, but I was like, well, it's probably not going to help. It's probably not going to enhance the being. So that was rough to give up, but I was like, Frank was like, you got to stop drinking that shit. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, so I'm giving up Celsius too, just because like, and especially Red Bull, because I would notice, I just feel like I notice more things now that I'm completely sober. Like I notice how things affect me more, and I can like feel, you just feel all your emotions, but no, like I can feel like hormonal changes, especially like during my cycle. So it's like I can remind myself like, oh, I'm not suicidal. I'm literally just about to start my period in 3 days, and this I'm thinking so psychotically, you know.
It's so true. You have to just know like that's for most people. I think like I would encourage most people to get off their whatever drugs you're on. Like I think, I don't know, I believe you can do it. Everyone's stronger than they think. I'm a big proponent of being on as little as possible, just generally.
I had a doctor's appointment, and my doctor like was like, are you sure you're not in any back pain? Because I could totally prescribe you whatever you needed. And like, it was almost like she was like pushing it on me. She was like, are you sure?
She's a pusher. She was pushing your drugs on you because they all get kickbacks from this shit, Lila. Mm-hmm.
But I think she's really nice, and she's really cool to me because she's been a doctor for like 20 years, but she said she's never met somebody with spina bifida who can walk. So when she met me, she was like looking at me like I was some sort of specimen. It was really funny, but she's very sweet, and I do like her. But she was just very like amazed that I am not on anything, which also makes me think about too. It's like, yeah, I really, the sobriety thing is cool, but it's also really great that I don't have to like take any like anything, and so I want to just be as completely sober as I can for as long as I can, because there might come a day where I am in pain, who knows, but I'm going to try to like prolong this, me not being in pain as much as I can. So
yeah, it sounds gay to say like, oh, you're inspirational, Lila, but like you really are, and I think you inspire more people than they ever speak out to you, because you're just fucking. You're crushing it, and you like you never complain. You're always down. You're just great.
I feel like I'm like Benjamin buttoning. Like
yeah, you're aging in reverse.
Well, it's like, especially with just like my disability, like acceptance of my life too. It's like, you know how like Benjamin Button, he was like really weird when he was like little and like he was like scary looking and it was like nobody understood him. And then the part in the movie where they're like 40 and they meet in the middle and he's like totally, and then he just starts to age in reverse. I feel like that with my disability where people are starting to meet me in the middle because of the fact that as we get older, you lose mobility, you lose certain things. And now I feel like my peers who didn't understand me in my early 20s, like get me now. And
they're all starting to break down and you're on the glow up.
Well, so it's like, I've just been disabled my whole life. So this is not so shocking. Whereas, you know, if you're in your 30s and all of a sudden you have extreme back pain or you start walking with a limp, it's like, whoa, this is really scary. I'm like, I've been limping the whole time, you know? So it kind of builds up that mental resilience.
Welcome to my world, bitch. Try to out limp me. Not gonna happen. Like, I've been doing this forever. Yeah. How was your? Did I already ask you how your Christmas was?
Yeah, my Christmas was really good. Me and Eric went to this really nice restaurant that we love to go to, and I had this incredible steak, which had like garlic inside of it. I've been eating a lot more meat, which I think is also helping with my like just emotional state.
It does. Filling yourself up with protein, like that's what I learned this year. So many of what you think are your cravings are emotional and mental. And if you get your capacity of protein, like if your go-to snack involves protein, you're gonna be better off. And if your go-to meal is something with like chicken, fish, or meat, like you're just gonna be much better off.
Oh yeah.
And it's the best. More meat. Although it's weird because like as a pregger, I'm not craving meat like I was before. And Michaela Peterson even mentioned this, that she was not really craving, and she just had a boy.
She looks incredible, by the way.
She looks fucking amazing. Do you guys even understand? Let me see if I can bring up her Instagram.
She looks good. And you know what? I have to say,
so good.
I really do admire her just because like I feel like she proves so many people wrong with like a lot of things that we hear just more like on the red pill side of things. Like she had her first daughter, which is a beautiful little girl, and then she got married to this guy who she's totally in love with, and now she has her beautiful baby boy and she's just looking so good. And she's successful and she's happy. And I don't know. It's very inspiring.
Yes, because I think the red pill community, and I actually don't even know or care who the dad of her daughter is, like her first kid. But by so many people's red pill standards, she would be this useless single mom and baggage that nobody wants. And it's like, I'm sure it doesn't hurt being Jordan Peterson's daughter, but she's no slouch, you know, like you can get opportunities in life because of your family, because of who you know, but it's your opportunity to take the ball and run with it. And she's smart and competent, and she helps him with his business. She's got her own business. She started a health company with her husband, and they're both like these gorgeous blonde Aryan specimens, like God, Hitler would be so the most gorgeous couple. Her baby just fucking slid right out of her. And then she posted, I'm having trouble pulling up my Instagram, but she posted a photo like 2 weeks after giving birth, and she looks fucking skinny and perfect again. And I was like, what happened? I screamed, but I was like, it's truly an inspiration. I'm like, Michaela, really whatever the fuck you did to make this happen, like, I'm like, what did you do? Whatever it is, I'm doing it, because there's so much talk and like almost like you're expected, like people set you up. They're like, oh, well, it's not going to come off right away. I hear from other moms, other people like, well, get ready to, your body's going to be fucking ruined and devastated, and your fucking snatch is never going to shut. and everything's going to be flapping till you die. And she gives birth and she looks amazing 2 weeks later. And I was like, Michaela, what the hell did you do? And she recommended these couple of like body wraps. I'm like, whatever they are, whatever they cost, I'm buying them because she looked so good.
She does look so good. Yeah, it's inspiring, Chrissy.
For sure.
And also it's like, I don't know. Why wouldn't you just always want to look good? Can we stop acting like
Can we stop pretending that it doesn't matter? That it's
Yes.
oh, you're a mom, you're a married woman.
You must not be hot no more. And it's like, stop.
Fuck that. And
Yeah.
even if you're not, even if we weren't on camera, on stage people, it's still it is a form of self-respect. I forget what designer said this. Maybe it's Karl Lagerfeld, but he said like dressing up is just good manners. Like it is part of honoring yourself, the people around you. It's like you get up, you make your bed. Why not make the bed of yourself? And not that you have to wear a suit every day, but yeah, like throw away your fucking underpants and pants with holes in them. Throw away what my friend Emily used to refer to as my poor people's shoes. If it's ratty, if you put it on and it doesn't make you feel good. And again, I'm not saying you have to break the bank and get a whole new wardrobe, but like we all know what in our wardrobe, like we can learn from Marie Kondo. If you pick it up, it sparks no joy. It's tired looking.
Yes.
Say thank you and donate it. Put it in a bag. It's good.
I think it's human nature. It's human nature, Chrissy, to want to be attractive. Okay.
Yes.
And we are lying if we are saying it does not matter. It matters. You want to be attractive.
It matters. And it doesn't mean you're a Jezebel. It doesn't mean you're demonic. It doesn't mean you're trying to break up a marriage. It doesn't mean you're trying to be an object of lust. Okay. I think like
I don't know. And even if you are, why does it matter? I don't know. I don't know.
Right. Because I think Calendargate showed us all lust, cheating is a choice. There will always be temptations. There will always be a conservative calendar out there or even a non-conservative calendar out there to tempt. Like if your marriage was broken up by a conservative calendar, I'm going to say this, it probably was hanging by a thread and it probably should have been broken up because I think it's like there will always be temptations out there and I just don't know what good it does to actually shame people for like living their lives, making money, do what they who cares? You know what? If a fucking OnlyFans girl is enough to break your relationship apart, then you fucking didn't have a solid relationship, okay? Like then you have some unresolved issues.
I feel like when I think about like the last couple of years, especially there's sides of the red pill that I really thought that I resonated with. And then there's other sides and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And now I'm just at this point where I'm like, live and let live. That's how I truly feel. And as far as like Calendargate goes, I will say this. I respect both sides of the arguments because I do love how some people are so strong in their convictions and they cannot be turned away. And there is something about that I really do like. That it's like, I don't really care what any of you guys think. I'm going to feel this way about it. I can't be swayed. And I do I respect that in a way.
Yes. Absolutely.
But then there's like, it also just kind of made me feel it's like people are just out here trying to make money. Okay. It is so expensive to live right now. Everything is messed up. And I don't know. It's very interesting. All of it was just interesting to me.
It is. We need reinforcements for this conversation, which is why I have the one, the only, the very level-headed, the very maternal but still sexy niece of Van Coulter, Ms. Kim Coulter. Yay!
I'm so honored. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Kim, welcome.
I love that. It looks like you're in ground control, but you're like inside of a mimosa.
Exactly. I'm in mimosa mode.
Mimosa. Hi, Kim.
Hello, beautiful ladies. How are you guys doing this fine New Year's Eve?
Better now. I almost completely forgot to send you the link and add you to the flyer because I couldn't add your stupid Twitter name to the group chat.
Mom brain. Don't worry.
You're here
Yep.
Let me tell you, mom brain is real. It's not a cope. Like, I will say cravings are bullshit, but what's not bullshit is pregnancy brain. Because, like, let's say I was dealing with maybe 45% of a functioning brain before all this. Well, the bean is taking basically 40% of that for himself. I'm left with 2 to 5% just for me. And it's brutal. You can't remember shit.
Yep. I like, my favorite expression is you know, I have 2 brains in my body, but I've never felt so dumb.
Aw.
But yeah, I mean, the cravings, by the way, I had them super hard with my first pregnancy and not at all with my second. So like, it really is a, like, you know, a luck of the draw. But I think I said it on the last time I was here. The first time I was pregnant, I was addicted to like mashed potatoes and jalapenos. Jalapenos and mashed potatoes are like my 2 things. I was like, it
was
was
funny because they say to stay away from spicy or that you won't like spicy or that you'll be sensitive to it or something like that.
There's a lot of stuff that they say to like stay away from, and obviously some of them are common sense, like alcohol and things like that. But as far as like spicy or anything like that is concerned, like both of my babies are so healthy and I eat like ridiculously spicy stuff, and I did not stop when I was pregnant. So, you know, take with that what you will. Maybe some people, I think it's more to do with like the acid reflux. Like some women will deal with that more severely than others. And obviously that is triggered by spicy food. So like I said, it's a person to person thing, but I'm already so acclimated to spicy stuff that by the time I was pregnant, my body was like, give me all the spicy.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, it varies. Did you, what were your thoughts on Calendar Gate this year?
Oh my God. Let me mark the time. I was just joking, like how long before we talk about this freaking calendar.
We're just going to get it out of the way. We're getting out of the way at the top.
I understand. And I even tweeted earlier, I like talked myself into having an opinion, which I think is so annoying. But you know, I think that everybody who's saying like, oh, people are pearl clutching over this. First of all, like, no, they're not. Like, this is the same level that they bring about every single conversation for the last several decades. This isn't new for Christians to say that stuff like this is smut. I will say, you know, it's weird because I feel like I have a foot in both camps. I just want people to shut the fuck up about it. Excuse me, but I don't care and like let people live. While on the other side, the more I think about it, I think of stuff like, why was it marketed to conservative dads? These are men who are married. And, you know, while these aren't necessary, I wouldn't call them pornographic images. I think that that's a bit of a stretch. I would say that it does incite lust. And I would also say that like the location of some of the photos was questionable to me. Like, why, you know, I like Ashley Sinclair as a person. I think she's so like, she's very nice to me and she's given me some really great advice about content creation. So I in no way mean to throw shade, but like, girl, why are you in the bathtub? Why, like, literally all these poses are meant to be like, look at my vagina, boys, you can't see it, you know? And like, I just ask that people be honest, because like these photos were taken in the, you know, even the main one that I think everyone's freaking out about, or the big conflict, was the redheaded libertarian one where she's like got her leg up. And yeah, I mean, that's meant to be a sexy picture. Like, let's be honest. These are meant to be attractive photos. They talk to women who are in good shape. They talk to women who look nice on camera. These women look nice on camera because they know that that will also bring them views. I don't mean it in like a shallow way, but like, you know, I put on a little makeup before coming on here because I want to feel good about myself. Like, let's be honest. We took these pictures for a reason. We took these things for a reason. And like I said, is it like porn? You know, porn is in the eye of the beholder, whoever the hell said that. And but why is it like I'm married to what I would call a conservative minded husband. I wouldn't like the idea of my husband purchasing this. Like he honestly doesn't even follow people on the internet who show cleavage. Because like he doesn't want to be involuntarily exposed to something that's meant to arouse him. It's just like it makes him feel
really
sick.
Thoughtful.
I think so too. And so, like I said, you know, these pictures, like some of them, like the first one of Ashley there, I think maybe a little bit with the boob coming out, but like it's still a nice photo. Like there's some of these where it's like, maybe the
The
girl working
Hepburn.
out could be a little, I'm not saying like cover them in burqas, but like if you want to say that this is for conservative dads, get messy hair bun moms in like, like in a cluttered room laying on the couch, like that's for the conservative dads. Like that's like a funny thing. Don't like put lustful imagery in front of them and be like, oh, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing it. Like I said, I feel as if I have a firm foot in both camps, because while I can argue that having too much of a Puritan attitude is ridiculous, it's also obvious what these pictures are. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's obvious that like why is she sitting in a bathroom? Like why are there so many bathroom pictures? It's just weird. I don't understand the
Well, they
motive.
say, Kim, cleanliness is next to godliness, so that is
So
a
show her
conservative
with a
value.
little, apron and some clean and some Windex
Bent over
squeegeeing a
another.
mirror.
I will say this though. I think Calendar Gate was the best thing that could have happened for this calendar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
the
I
guy
think
who published it was like liking all this stuff that I've shared about it, where I'm like, guys, shut up, because he's laughing all the way to the bank because people are, buying it at this point out of spite for people who are
great.
overreacting.
It's the
And
best
it's like,
thing that could have happened.
if these people, like, if they really didn't want sales to happen, they would shut the hell up. They would just not talk about it anymore, because them feeding into the drama is literally just bringing out the people who are like, who would literally just buy the calendar to be like, haha, screw you, like, Mr. Puritan. I look at me buying this calendar. I'm so dangerous.
So this is a good point from the chat. When it comes to Ashley St. Clair's photos, she was trying to parody Dylan Mulvaney. That's why there's the look of her. I think, what is this, Audrey Hepburn, like Breakfast at Tiffany's with the beers, and then in the tub, which were both looks that Dylan Mulvaney tried to do.
I've read that. And like I said, I got no beef with her, but like either way, these are still seductive images. Like,
for sure. We talk about this all the time, Lila, right? Like that women on the internet are generally using their looks to their advantage, whether they're super Christian conservative or a straight up straight up porn star.
Well,
so even
like,
if you're covered up, but like there's so many, even like good friends of mine, it's like you could be covered, but like we all know what we look like. We all know what makes us look good.
To accent it,
yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean you have to be showing skin, but you could be wearing something on the tight, form-fitted side. We all know our angles. We know our lighting situation. We are all trying to look the best that we can. Maybe not necessarily because we're all outright selling sex, but like it's stupid to pretend that your looks are not a part of your identity, your brand, whatever, your business. Even if you're not an online person and you're like a real estate chicks all look great. They all show up.
They do.
It's part of the job. If they showed up in sweats with like no even tasteful cleavage, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to buy this house actually.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're totally right. The thing about it is, it speaks to how you want to represent yourself. And it's not like, oh, I need people to find me attractive. It's like people, it shows people like I take care of myself. I care about how I come off. I care about how people see me. I care that like I, put time into making sure I'm healthy and put together and presented the way I want to be presented. I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily.
What's up, all my Ewoks?
Hi. Hello, Anna. The other
What's
point I
up?
want to mention, maybe this is irrelevant, but the brand of this calendar is called Conservative Dads, which is Seth Weather's, I guess, brand that this ultra right beer also came out of. So I don't, and maybe this is a total moot point, but I don't know that he was just trying to market it to conservative dads. I think that's just the umbrella brand.
Well, I mean, it's about the message it conveys as well. So even if that's the name of the brand, like that's still like you're talking to conservative dads. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not directly advertised. So like he's not like saying like, oh, this is only for conservative dads, but even maybe unintentionally, the side effect of having conservative dads on the top of that calendar speaks to like what's, even if it's just perceived by other people and it wasn't intended, it's still there.
It's still there. You know who's still there? Nina Infinity is joining us.
What's up? Happy New
Hello.
Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Hey, I'm here to seduce like everyone, even though I'm like married and like I'm just here to just act totally demonic, guys. What's up? Hey.
Yes, we're here to seduce you all.
I wish I brought my rosary.
And I to Lila's point, I do appreciate and I love Bryson Gray. We're buddies. I just saw him at Turning Point in Phoenix. Like I was happy to see him and his new wife. I think her name is Shamika. And they're very sweet. And you know what? I like how hardcore they are about this. It's like it's their prerogative. It's because part of if you are that type of hardcore Christian, it is you feel implored to speak out. You're like, because
he has the platform.
He's like, I have to call this out. It's part of my hardcore Christianity to like call this out. Not that I look at it like, well, you're not. It's not everything is a slippery slope. It's not like Josie the redhead libertarian, unless we shame her into oblivion online, is going to start an OnlyFans and start selling butthole pics. It's like I don't think any of these women on the conservative calendar.
If she did though? But what would be wrong? What's the
right?
difference,
But that's the thing, Chrissy. Because there's a lot of people saying that we should bring back shaming. So this is under that same umbrella of like, oh, let's publicly shame these women because that's what we want to be doing now. So we want to be publicly shaming everybody. So let's get on board, even the Christian right. So if you can't just publicly shaming the left all the time, you got to be publicly shaming your own side as well. Which is like,
if people are doing things worthy of shame, I don't necessarily need to have like a similar political line with them to not say something. I don't think I think being able to call out people on your own side is actually incredibly valuable because it shows that you don't exist in an echo chamber and that you're actually willing to say like, hey, you over there, we stand on the same side, but what you're saying right now is not right.
It depends on what your definition of right is, I guess. But yeah,
I mean that's subjective. That's subjective across the board. But
yeah,
I mean you could have fundamental disagreements and still at least be cordial.
Sure,
which I toe that line too. I'm an asshole. Like it just happens. But
I'm mostly just upset that I was not included or thought of for the calendar. And I interviewed Mr. Seth Weathers. I made it known, very known, that I am to be considered for the next year's calendar once I snap back, of course, physically. And I think, the Christian conservatives are allowed to shame, just like if you're Josie or Ashley or any of the girls who participate in this, it's like you're allowed to let that roll off your back and be like, well, I guess I figured that this was coming, and I'm still going to live my life. And I think a big or at least some portion of the proceeds went to Riley Gaines.
I think all
some
of
kind
it.
of a good cause. I think it might have been only 10% from what I heard.
Was it really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear? Okay, it's finally fucking working. What's up?
Hello. I love the hair. I'm going to switch you over there so we're all looking at each other.
Thank you. Dude, do you know how much I've been tagged in this fucking calendar nonsense? Like, oh my God.
You do calendars. You must have
queen of calendars. You make the best ones.
No, and you know what?
I was demonic calendar on earth.
I was looking at this that was the first time I saw all of the photos, and I'm not gonna try to be mean. You can tell a man with no taste picked out each photo because it's dry. I'm like, this could have been done so much better. And okay, the second you put Christian dads, you just limited people that are going to buy this. Like, I think women would have probably bought this because it's not like they're overly.
I mean, definitely women definitely are buying this.
Well, no, I know women are buying it, but I mean, like, as somebody that does, like, I'll go a little risque based on what characters I'm cosplaying as because that's the character. But in this, I thought it more of it like cutesy. Like, I was like, oh, like, this is cute. Like, I'll buy this like as like a pinup thing. But the second they put Christian dads, I'm like, you just limited your audience to only Christian dads and you're going to piss people off. No, it just, the marketing of it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I was saying that too, that they were, that they picked the wrong audience. There's so many like young, maybe libertarian, maybe like somewhat conservative men who are not married, who like,
well, no, the biggest problem is you don't put like a label on it. Like you don't put this is just for this type of people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it would have appealed to probably even a younger audience if it wasn't
Well, you just
labeled
don't ever put
specifically as
labels
like
on
a
it. Like,
conservative
do you
thing.
see Mountain Dew saying only Mountain Dew for teenagers? No, it's just Mountain Dew. Like, you just put
You have to be
conservative
like a
girl
very specific
calendar.
brand to advertise just to an age group. Which this, you're
I
right.
think
Well, no, this is for everyone. It's something that anyone can buy. Like, you can be like, wouldn't that be the thing that they want, is to get people on the other side to give them money? So the second you put that on the calendar, I think that was a strategy just to piss people off, which it obviously did, because it was all over my timeline. And I block anyone that posts politics, aside from Chrissy, on my timeline. So the fact that it was over and over again is driving me
do you
crazy.
mean the conservative dads thing?
Is that what it is? Is it conservative or Christian?
Conservative Dads is
Okay.
actually his company.
It's
so
a
like
brand.
that's the entire brand.
Well,
So
then
that's why
that
he
dude's-
sells his beer and everything under that
I
brand.
said it was bad branding.
But
Okay,
again,
so
I could
then
have taken that
don't
into
put it-
consideration and been
then
like,
don't put it on
conservative
the
dad's
cover.
brand. They should have called it like the anti-woke calendar or something like that. Or
Yes,
should have had conservative
but that's the
dad
thing,
like
though.
smaller.
But that's the thing, Chrissy. I think the entire conservative dad's brand is marketed. It's the grift of anti-woke sentiment. Like, it's like, okay, we're anti-woke. It's kind of like what the Daily Wire is doing, except the Daily
it's
Wire
like
didn't
the
call
lady
themselves the
bullets.
Daily Anti-Woke. Like, it wasn't like that. Because if they did, they would still probably get a lot more, but they probably have like more of the other side because they called themselves the Daily
Okay,
Wire.
well, so then put it in the inside cover where you do credits.
Yeah, like on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you typically print things on the back of the calendar. You would put it all of your, like, when you open a book and it's like, this is published by this.
Yeah, I meant like on the
company.
back inside, like on the bottom where it's like
Yeah, no,
published
don't
in
put it
year
on.
of-
The cover should have been like the title of the calendar, like the theme, like conservative girls, right? And then also I'm like, okay, Riley is a beautiful girl. I did not know that was her on the cover until I read it. And I'm like, the fact that she's laying there, I'm like, all it did was make her look flat chested. I'm like, you should have had like either a butt shot or a top shot. And it could have been highlighting the fact that like she's in really good shape because she's, a professional swimmer. So all of it, I'm just like, who the fuck edited this? Because I want to fire them. I want to sit down, yell at them, walk them through every single thing that they did wrong and fix it, because it's driving me crazy. And yes, everyone in the chat, I'm doing a video on it, like point by point.
Oh,
And, like,
good. Okay.
I think I agree
just
with you,
love the
Anna, on
passion.
that sense of like, I
Girl,
think
this is
that-
what I do for a living. It's driving me crazy. Like, how could you? I get it's their first time. How could you do it so wrong? I'm sure every photo shoot had like at least 100 pictures. And Chrissy and Lila have both worked with me when I do these things, and they know how anal I am
You're a
about
pro.
it.
And you can tell by the calendar, I'm like, they didn't involve, or it looks like they didn't involve any women, or like even one gay, because everyone could have had better
I think they
pictures of
took their
themselves.
own photos.
Oh.
Okay,
they
well
just
then you don't
admitted-
just take one photo. You take like 100
No,
photos.
they took a ton of photos because they've been
I also don't-
releasing other photos. Like Ashley's released several photos now. The other, I think it's like Peyton Drew or something. She's released several photos. So they all had several
I
photos.
think they
that
did their
posted.
own photos as well and
Mhm.
submitted them that way, because I'm pretty sure like in the comments I see them talking about like
Oh
having
my-
to like be in their own homes. So I think
Mhm.
these girls like maybe they loosely had some sort of agreement about what they were going to wear or what they were going to do and whatever the hell, but I feel like they were like, taking their iPhones and like setting up these like, risque pictures and
Well,
then sending them in.
But
Okay,
the other
I
thing,
don't-
to Anna's point, I think like it needed a theme in general. Like conservatives dads is not
like
a theme.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, not only that, but like, the different holiday things are, they totally missed on that. Having a Valentine's Day
with
conservative
no
girl, having a Christmas
seasonal.
conservative girl,
Right.
having,
Yeah, that's cute.
like, well, these are really basic
Right.
things that would
But
have
it's like-
made the calendar
Okay,
better.
hold on.
Or like if you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do
show
a full
you.
bikini calendar, do a bikini calendar where everyone's in a bikini, not like just like one or two people, and then like one person's got a pie, and you're like, I'm just like, what is the theme? And then Josie was saying in one of the spaces that her theme was red, white, and blue, and I was like, well,
should have been
shouldn't
4th of
red,
July.
white, and blue be the entire theme for
Okay,
the
hold
entire
on.
calendar? Then
I
I'm gonna
never would
show
have gotten
you-
that in a million years.
Okay, so this is my friend, and so she actually is like she's the one that told me to change my eyebrows. But so all of her photos, she does
Change your
cosplay.
eyebrows.
This is all taken on an iPhone.
Yeah, let's
So
look at it.
every photo that she does is just on her iPhone. So you can take
you could take really good pictures for sure,
Mhm.
but like it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing. And these girls clearly just like
This is
grabbed a
nice.
cheapo
Yeah.
thing and like, you know.
I don't know. I think part of what makes this kind a little bit funny is that some of these girls have said things about other people's photos and what they shouldn't be doing.
Oh,
And then
really?
it's kind of, yeah, they're like, OnlyFans is bad and all of this is bad. And then you participate in this calendar. So that's also what makes it a little bit strange.
Can I ask who I only know I've never talked to Riley, but I know who Riley is and I know who Josie is. So who are all these other girls that are in it? Because I've
Like,
only
Kim
seen
Klacik
Josie's
is
photo.
a politician.
Josie's a
Ashley St.
politician?
Clair is like a talking head type, like a political influencer type.
Is it true she used to do porn though? Because people are
No,
saying
there
she was
isn't.
a
There's a
porn.
different Ashley St. Clair who does do porn, but they both have dark hair and I think dark eyes. But they're Ashley
Oh,
St.
is it
Clair
really
one
a
that like
different-
has done or does do porn. She's also like a fitness model too. And then there's Ashley St. Clair who she was at Turning Point. She's like she's
What's
got more
Turning
Twitter
Point?
followers. Turning Point was the thing I went to in Phoenix with like
It's a-
Tucker Carlson
it's
was
like a
there. and Jack
quasi-political
Posobiec.
thing.
Yeah, conservative
a-
meeting.
Yeah, it was like a America Fest. It was supposed to be this like youth conservative conference or something.
Yeah, it's like
just
the
like
Hitler Youth meeting. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
It's like
What?
some folks have referred to it as a conservative Coachella, which I would disagree with because I was not offered drugs once.
Well,
Did they even have good
who
music?
in the right mind offers a pregnant lady drugs? I'm just saying.
True.
Did they even have good music, Chrissy? If it's being
They
compared
did
to
have a couple
Coachella,
of like Western, like country acts. One was like called Big Rich, or there were a few others. I can't remember their names, but I'm definitely like set on pitching a comedy show. Like there could have been a comedy show every night at this convention because there's nothing to do after 5-6 o'clock, and people are all still there looking for something to do. So
that's when the
Okay.
best
they
hanging
need
out
to
happens.
bring in more of the arts and culture into the world a little bit. I think like an FNT or a Geeks and Gamers panel would have done great. Like just bring in people involved in the arts, you know. They had a couple of concerts, but they could have done more. They could have had like an anti-woke, or if they want conservative themed comedy show, but I think anti-woke would have been fine because there's I don't know how many conservative comedians there actually really are that like truly brand themselves that way. And I don't
I'm
think
just
people
getting
actually really
confused
care.
Not a
as to
lot, I
what
don't think.
conservative is anymore.
No, I mean conservatism is a dead movement. And I mean like while people can still have conservative ideas and ideology, conservative movement in and of itself doesn't exist the same way like alt-right is a nonsense thing that was like co-opted and made into a million different things, because there's no singular definition now. And I mean, listen, there was an original meaning for conservative, and I still fundamentally believe that that's what we should be considering a conservative, and not like, you know, LARPing as all these things to get people included in the movement. I just think that's so disingenuous. But as it is right now, because there's so many people who label themselves as conservative who are not traditionally conservative, it's like almost a fad or a trend. It's like punk rock, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm conservative, I'm badass, the mainstream media doesn't get me, man. And like, no,
Isn't
you're
that
not.
wild that conservative is that now? Like, because I mean, fucking 30
makes
years ago,
sense.
that's not what it used to be, you know?
It makes sense, but I mean, it is the counterculture now. It is not total. I mean, it's in the mainstream, but like it's got all sorts of negative connotations that I don't necessarily agree with. I would say that if there is a conservative, I do fit a lot of the conservative ideology. But even there are even some who consider themselves conservative who say that because of my past alone, I would never be able to literally fall into that camp. So, like I said, the conservative movement, as we know it right now, it's you know, Santa Claus, it's La La Land, it's fairy dust, it doesn't exist, and what we're doing is we're giving CPR to a corpse that's been dead for years and years and years.
Whatever,
like,
Kim. Santa's real. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, for something
why you
that's
have to
dead,
throw
it
Santa
sure as
in
hell
there.
makes its way onto my timeline.
My bad, guys. I didn't mean to be that black cloud and bring Santa into
Oh
this.
no,
But
It's okay. I
I
think Santa's an asshole, so
Hey,
I
fuck
just
you,
mean, you
fuck
know,
you,
it-
Anna. Damn
fuck
it.
Santa.
Fuck
That's
you.
what she's giving my Barbie.
David Carpenter, I'm going to blow through a couple of these super chats. David Carpenter, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy New Year, Chrissy and everyone. Best wishes for a great 2024. Thank you, David. Take the ride. Thanks for the super chat. Have a great 2024. I thank you both so much for all the laughter this year. Oh, this was from when it was just me and Lila holding it down. Gonna make it a mission to make it to one of your live shows in the new year.
Yes.
Well, there's San Diego next weekend. There's Dallas January 25th. And then I will be in Jersey November 24th. And then I don't know. They're probably not going to let me fly after early February. You need a doctor's note if you're like a visibly pregnant woman on a plane because they don't want you to fucking break your water all over the.
Are you gonna do a set at Anna's wedding?
The snack cart. A what?
Are you gonna do a set at Anna's wedding?
A set? I would never. No, that's so trashy. I would never
if
you're hired to do something. It's one thing if someone's like, I really want you to give a speech. Sure. It's one thing if it's like
you can give
hey,
a speech, Chrissy. Speeches are my
I
favorite part.
I hired this guy Bob DeBono to do a Trump impression at my wedding. That's another thing. But I would never treat a wedding like an open mic. I have more respect for it than that.
Oh yeah, because you won't be
Leo
drinking
Fisher,
either, so you won't get up there and be like, "Just give me the mic, man. Let me go at it."
How good of a speech could it really be? Yeah, Leo Fisher, thanks for the super chat. Lila can make the cult of coyote, wink, wink, cuisine. All coyote, really no dogs allowed. Lol. Is this an inside joke between you and him, Lila?
Is this about being abducted? I don't know.
It's a cult of dogs where we eat them.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Leo. Daniel. Happy New Year. Greetings from Australia, where it's already 2024. Hope you all have a wonderful New Year. Wow, Australia beat us to the New Year.
They did, those bitches.
Happy New Year.
That's the only thing they beat us to. Dark Side with love. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Chrissy. Happy New Year. Thank you for another year of great content and introducing me to all these other creators. I look forward to see what you get canceled for in 2024. Hail SimpCast. Hail FNT. Thank you, Dark Side.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let's tally up how many things you got canceled for this year. So the trans thing was this year too, right?
Thing.
Malaysia Airlines.
I don't know what. I don't even know what I would consider a cancellation anymore because Malaysia Gate was kind of intense, but it's you're only as canceled as you let yourself be, I think.
But they tried though.
Let's
count the attempts.
Malaysia did try. Yeah, so Malaysia Gate, Pants Gate.
Pants Gate, that's right.
What was that one?
There was Fried Chicken Gate. When I told the fried chicken joke on Newsmax, and then Keith Olbermann came for me on Twitter.
The taco one too, on FNT, right?
Oh yes, a Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle taco
about
gate.
it.
Does the pizza debacle make it to the list?
That's like 4.
4.
The delivery driver in I forget.
Oh God, in what's that? LA. That was.
I thought it was Florida.
No, it was Tampa. It was Tampa. Yeah. Oh
wait, what happened?
Yeah, that was not a cancellation. I don't think it was more of just a funny moment of. We were trying to order a pizza when we were in Tampa, me and Keanu, and it was from this place called New York Pizza. And it took 2.5 hours to get to the damn hotel. This was after the show. So we're up waiting for this pizza till 2:30 in the morning. And then we call and complain. And the guy starts laughing at us, making fun of us, trolling us. And then we're
meant more a cancel by proxy. Because that dude, people definitely gave that dude some problems.
We were we're not gonna pay for this. This is 2.5 hour long cold pizza that arrived, and then the delivery man tried to force his way through our hotel room door, and it was a little nerve-wracking. So we ended up paying and freaking tipping for this cold 2.5 hour late pizza.
I never even heard the story. That's crazy.
And then he was like, he's like, well, nowhere else will deliver to where you guys are at. And he was like, location shaming us.
And
there might be a clip.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
We were like worried for our lives. Hunter, thanks for the super chat. Thank you for the you got it. Yay. Thank you for the gift box. It smelled like heaven. Every detail was the delight. I sent Hunter because Hunter sent me a lot of stuff over the year. So I sent him like every possible shirt I have, like all the merch shirts I have in his size, like every type. And I sent him a care package of a headshot and a note.
Did you send him like goop, like the candle, the vagina candle? Is that why he's saying it smelled like heaven?
I don't know. Maybe it's
don't those explode?
Yes,
maybe
they
it's
do.
Just like it's probably just smells like the inside of my merch suitcase. I don't know. Now I'm gonna go back and smell all my shirts. LP, thanks for the super chat. Happy New Year, ladies. Congrats on 1 year of sobriety, Lila. Just past 16 months of sobriety this week, and I've never felt better. Oh,
Congratulations, Lila and LP.
LP.
What does LP stand for, like in the music sense? Limited production. Someone in the chat will know. Oh, Junior. The conservative calendar should have had a burqa option, and that would have brought in the Muslims. True.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which
no one
month
has
would
a
have been
problem with
burqa
that.
month?
The coldest.
Oh, I don't know which month do the
I'll
Muslims
tell you
like
right.
best?
Hang on.
With Ramadan.
September
Nina.
11th. September. Isabel alive. Breasts are beautiful. Well, thank you. Yes, they are. Thank you. That's a little creepy. A serious man, Anna. How close are you to fulfilling your own demonic project?
Mofo, I'm about this close to like going to my printer and just screaming at them. I sent them all of the stuff like over a month ago, or actually now I think it's almost 2 months ago, and it still hasn't gotten to me. So my printer is just being slow. They're blaming it on the binding again. But he told me 2 weeks ago I should have it today, and I don't think that's happening. So we will see. I'm
So
sorry.
Yeah, I doubt you're gonna get it today.
So Chrissy, the Prophet Muhammad was born in August. So the Muslims should have August, I think.
Give them August.
I
It's
really
hot,
appreciate that you looked that up.
You're welcome.
Give them the hottest month. It's hot under the burqa. Yeah. Enjoy.
Yes, exactly. It's perfect.
Like a very red-faced individual, but that's all you could see, obviously, because of the burqa. Maybe a little, like, maybe some sweat. Maybe a little ankle if you want to feel risky.
Little ankle.
Oh my
Little
God,
ankle
they would never be able to go to a Muslim country ever again if they showed.
Well, they'll
the
never
light.
know who she is because
That's true.
up.
That's true.
Thank you so much for the super chat. If the so-called Christian conservative women were doing their job, they wouldn't have to worry about the calendar. It's tame, fun entertainment. It's a nothing burger, a grift for complainers.
I don't get what their job is.
I don't necessarily think Christian conservatives who are complaining publicly about this are grifting. I do understand that part of their level of Christianity is they are compelled to call out sin, and whether the person changes their ways or doesn't, it's like they have to.
So Nina posted this video a few weeks ago now of this woman in Iran walking her dog without the burqa, and another woman coming up and like harassing her to put the burqa on to walk the dog. I got the same energy from what I saw on Twitter about this calendar.
Same here,
Like,
Anna.
when I see something that I don't like, I just keep scrolling, or I block it or mute it so I don't have to see it again.
Exactly.
People complaining about this to the extent that they are.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
What you have to understand about this is if you fundamentally believe that having this imagery out was not only sinful but potentially harmful to men, because we know that pornography and I'm not like I said, I'm not going to call this specific thing pornography, but people who have very fundamentalist Christian beliefs would see this kind of thing as some form of pornography. If you fundamentally believed that somebody was spiritually or emotionally or mentally at risk, you would try to say something about it, right? So I don't necessarily believe that everybody has this intention. I think that some people maybe are doing it with the intention of getting more views, but I do believe that people who fundamentally have this belief genuinely fear for people in these situations, genuinely fear that like somebody in a marriage will start to have lustful feelings towards other women, and that's considered, I mean, it's laughable or
Well, that's
whatever,
going to
but
happen
like,
regardless of an online calendar or not.
I mean, sure, but when somebody who's advertising themselves as a conservative dad, when your brand is conservative dad, it would make sense to me that fundamental Christians who are predominantly in the conservative movement would say, why are you promoting this kind of degeneracy? Why would you advertise like this? So you could say it's Puritan or whatever. You can disagree with it, but these people fundamentally believe that they are counteracting evil and that they are trying to protect
I do
people
understand
from...
that. I just don't care.
I mean, sure, you don't have to care,
that's why
but like,
that's why I'm
say that
saying
you
when I
don't
see something
understand
I
them.
don't care, I just keep scrolling.
That's
but
the
if, like I
interesting part about the word fundamental is the mental part of the fundamental. So you can be very
For sure.
mental when it comes to, things that you hold sacred or dear that other people may not necessarily agree with, and then you end up coming off really mental. And that could be that could be for anything, really. Even fandom people can become fundamental about fandom stuff, and it's like, calm the fuck down, everybody. Like, we're just
there's shit
fucking
that
movies.
I'll be like, that's not how you wrap a fucking present. I'll be like, you're doing it all wrong. Like, and people like Chrissy, relax. It's just a present. The way that Anna, you can be like, you're doing the calendar all wrong. Here's how you pick photos.
Yeah.
Here's how you edit. Here's how you make things look better. Whereas some person who isn't would be like, who cares, Anna? Who cares if a calendar is a calendar? Who cares if it's good or not? It's like we're all passionate about something that we would be outspoken about, that other people would be like, who cares? Why
Like,
even
who-
say
yeah,
anything?
exactly.
Why
Well, no,
not
I
keep
mean, there's a
rolling?
lot
And
of
more
stuff
so,
that I
like-
see that I feel passionately about and I don't comment on, because at the end of the day, it's none of my business what other people are doing. And I'm not going to go out of they're not my children. I'm nobody's mother. And unless you're asking me for my opinion, I'm not going to go out of my way for it. It's none of my
That's
business.
healthy.
I got my own stuff going on. I'm not going to worry about other people. They got their own issues. They're adults. They can deal with it.
That's totally fine, but and like I said, I don't like, I'm not trying to convince you to have sympathy for these people, but literally in the fundamental ways that they live their life, in the text that they read every day, for the most part, it teaches them to be outspoken about these things. So whether or not you agree with it is totally another thing. It doesn't really matter to me whether or not you think that they're lunatics. But like, I mean, sure, you, like I said, you could call it whatever you want to call it, but at the base of it, they are fulfilling a calling, and whether or not you agree with it, at least you can say like, all right, I understand, why they feel that way.
The funny part about this whole thing too is that this calendar was apparently out for like a long time, and then Bryson Gray decided to call it demonic, and then he has a huge platform, so then he made it like insanely amplified, and then people were like, "Oh, really? This is even out?" Like,
Calendar Gate was the best thing that could have ever happened for this calendar.
Like, he's
honestly.
the one that actually put
They
it on
should
the
be
map.
thinking
so-
Bryson Gray, actually.
They
Because
did.
no
Bryson Gray
no
made it
one
way more
cared
popular.
about this damn calendar. No one cared
Nobody
about it
cared.
at all. Anna's
They-
right. The pictures are awful. The
True.
editing
Could've
is
been better.
awful.
I didn't say
The
all of them
marketing
are
is
awful.
horrible.
One of
You know who
them,
marketed it? Bryson
They're
Gray.
awful.
the guns that looks like Gina Carano. That one's pretty cool.
It was just like the Streisand effect, though. Like, they were like, "Oh my god, this demonic calendar! Oh my god, everyone's gonna start having affairs and making OnlyFans!" And it's just like, oh my god, nobody cared about it. Nobody even knew about it until you said something, bro.
Which is great. They should be thanking him still.
They are.
It's awesome. Bryson did
True.
them a huge favor because, again, nobody cared about it. The marketing was horrible. I think everybody in here kind of like, there's a lot of that's been said that we can all agree on. Like, Anna's correct. The marketing was bad. The photos were bad. Bryson.
I didn't say all of the photos are bad.
Well, they're bad. I said it. That's fine. Bryson calling this calendar demonic, fantastic. Honestly, blew up the sales, was great. I do like Bryson. I like the fact that he is so strong in his convictions, and that is his prerogative, but he like doesn't stray away from that. And there's something about that I do like internally like respect, that he's so like hardcore about what he believes, and there's something to be learned from that. But again, calling it demonic, oh my god, they made so much money off of this.
They
and it's
did.
great, and it's
It was
awesome.
funny. was
So
funny.
it all
Well, we
works
don't
out.
know how much money they made because they don't have it up with the sales. It's just $25 on here. I'm trying to check out to see how much shipping
But Anna,
is.
it's safe to assume they made a lot more money after
Then they
that.
would
Oh,
have.
probably.
Viral,
Bryson
like
never said
way
anything.
more. You can tell by how many followers like Seth and Josie got on Twitter
Wouldn't
just
it-
because of that.
Wouldn't it be so funny if Seth and Bryson are actually like BFF and we all just don't know that? And
Yes.
then
Wasn't
he was
that a
like,
great
yo,
controlled
Bryson,
I was
can
100%
you
thinking that,
just
Lila. Like
say
they're probably
something
in on
and then
it.
like I'll give you
That'd
a
be
cut of this.
brilliant.
That would be my
Yeah.
dream come true, actually.
And like Seth gave him a cut of like the calendar
Yeah,
show.
that would
Yeah,
be
for sure.
so
Absolutely.
fantastic.
I can see it.
I think I wish people could like zoom out and come somewhere in the middle. Like Bryson is allowed to call it out, but you should also realize like I am in the minority here. I'm not going to really turn anybody around on this. Like I don't know, like kind of know.
Well, was that his
how many
goal to turn
you
people
sort of
around?
know how many people your take represents in a sense, whereas most people, I think,
Well, I don't know who
feel
Bryson
as
is, but
all
was
of
he
us
trying
do.
to? Was he just saying it to say his piece, or was he trying to turn people's minds around?
It's both.
He's
He's
who
religious.
knows? I mean, it's both, I guess.
He's
I mean,
religious.
there's
so
no way.
that's his belief.
Literally, all we could do is speculate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows
Yeah.
but Bryson and maybe his wife. But it blew up, and I still like every morning. I feel like I'm when I make my morning doom scroll through Twitter, I tell my husband, "Oh, great, Twittergate continues. You know, Calendargate is another day of Calendargate. Will everyone just shut the hell up about the stupid calendar? Oh my gosh."
I remember when I launched my first one and everyone was like, you're using the bad font. I didn't know the whole thing with Comic Sans font because apparently I missed that in the 90s. And then they were saying like my face is photoshopped and then all of that. I'm like, the special effects of me holding fire, that's okay, but like my face is photoshopped. And I was
It's
like,
not
people are
real
gonna
fire, Anna.
I know people are going to complain no matter what. And at this point, I'm just like, what's next? What is the next thing?
I kind of really want.
Yeah.
I kind of really want Bryson Gray to get a hold of Anna's calendar and like especially that photo.
he'll
of her
like
with the
faint.
Vampirella, like with the fucking blood on her hands. She's like licking it and shit. And I want him to be like, look at this demonic shit.
Vampire.
I don't think Bryson would even do that because Anna doesn't market herself as a conservative Christian. If she was
Right.
marketing herself as a conservative Christian and marketing towards conservative dads, he would have an issue with it.
I mean,
Should I do that for
I'll
my
play
next
devil-
calendar?
I'm gonna,
Yes,
you're right.
yes,
Devil's
Anna.
advocate for 2 seconds. She had a crucifix on her wall.
Yeah, she did.
It wasn't just a cross. She had Jesus on the crucifix behind her
Yeah.
in the calendar. So like
Because
maybe
she's
she's
holding a
Catholic.
pie in a dress.
I know. I'm
like,
just look. I'm. If she's not Christian or whatever, that's fine. But why
She's
is there
not a
crucifix
Christian!
in your kitchen?
Catholic.
Then why
She
is a
is.
crucifix on your wall?
She says
What was
she
that?
has
Who
a
was that
She's
for?
Catholic.
Maybe it's
Says
her
she has a
husband's.
crucifix or a cross in every room in her house. She has said that, and that she is a practicing Catholic.
She's
Whatever.
Catholic,
Okay, well,
but
I don't know
also
anything about
that's
her, but
part of
if
the
she
reason
wasn't-
that people were pissed off about it was because they
Yeah,
were like,
'cause
she's
there's
Catholic and she's
religious
not covering her
iconography.
shoulders because you're supposed to cover your shoulders when you're Catholic. 'Cause,
That's
look,
only when you go to the Vatican or
I
you go to
know. Like,
church.
look, religious people have weird rules. Okay. Every religion has their own weird rules. I think part of the problem is a lot of people is like with religious people, they're just uncomfortable with their sexuality. I've always I think that it's just a big part of, especially fundamental Christian or not Christian, not just Christian, especially Muslim people actually, they have a very hardcore problem with their sexuality. Most of the time, they're probably in the closet. So they have problems. It's bad because it makes people go to the other side. And that's how the pendulum always swings. Because people are like, when they get like just shat on for having certain beliefs and called demonic or whatever, like when I was a kid and I was getting called demonic for just asking questions in Iran, that's what happens. You go to the other side. You're like, well, what's on the other side? Is there something else? Because I feel like I'm not a demon and I'm just a normal human girl, and have questions.
I'm surprised they didn't ask Melanie. Do you know how cool it would have been to like see Melanie and like just sitting there like gaming with like Lara Croft in the background? That would have been so adorable.
Yeah, but that's not. That's
I don't
they.
think Melanie
They would have
would have
wanted her.
participated in a
Yeah,
calendar.
she
Well,
wouldn't.
the one chick. Okay, so I'm looking. I exit out of it, but the one chick that's just standing there holding guns, like I don't see how that's a problem. She's wearing a t-shirt. She's
It's
wearing
not.
pants. She's just
No, it's
standing
not
there.
a problem. No,
Yeah,
it's
she's
not.
just. So what would be wrong with Melanie wearing her hoodie and her beanie that she always wears?
See,
And like
the thing, Anna,
holding
is
the gun?
that it's not. That's the thing. It's not that individual photos are being judged by themselves. It's the other ladies are getting shit on for like Riley being in a bikini. Like that's the thing. It's
Riley's
the
a swimmer. And she wasn't in
Yeah.
she's only in the bikini on the cover. In the other photo I saw, she's in a one piece. Oh no, that's a
no,
different
she's in a two piece still. She's in the same one. She's coming out of the pool. There's
She's
another
in like
picture.
incredible superhero shape. What's wrong with that?
Honestly,
I
too
think the cross
revealing.
triggered people.
I think this is fun. This is like debate. I could debate either side. I could make a case for either side, and it's
The
I
only
can.
thing
That's what makes it
I've
interesting.
never seen Riley because I watched all the stuff when it happened with her and Leah Thomas, and I've never heard Riley talk about religion, and I don't think she's based. She didn't even talk about politics. She just talks about the whole trans movement, and it fucked up her and her other competitors' college careers, like swimming careers. But I don't think that she's typically conservative or Christian, at least not from what I've actually seen come out of her mouth. She's just in a shitty situation because of that. She got dragged into the culture war.
They should have
So
made it
what's
like
wrong with her being in a bikini when that's literally what she does? She swims.
She's being lustful, Anna. God, like she's putting her like freaking stomach and shoulders and titties out for men to look at. God damn it, Anna.
Okay.
That's
I'm not gonna
supposed to
this
happen.
isn't trying to be rude, but it's not like she's like got double D's and I wasn't looking at her boobs. I was looking at her muscles and not in a lustful way. It's like, holy shit, that chick is ripped, right?
Yeah, but you're not a man.
I'm
you-
not a
and-
man.
or
And I'm not
or
a
a
lesbian,
lesbian. So you
Not
don't
with that
count.
attitude.
My next calendar, I market it. I'm now a conservative Christian lesbian. There we go.
There you go.
Controversy
TM
101.
chat. Being conservative is different than being a Christian conservative. We have much bigger problems than a tame, silly, fun calendar. I agree, sir. Wow, thank you, Disco Cobra. This calls for a sound effect. Thank you for the pink boy. Whee! Last night was pretty fun. I watched Camel Thoughts and a couple hours of Flashcast, drunken movie ranking. I was trying to get them drunk last night. Good times
You
indeed.
did.
You should look up the list they made and see if everyone agrees with it. Was this the holiday movie list or just all
We did
movies?
We did a year's end or like a 2023 list last
So
night.
it wasn't just like holiday or Christmas movies.
No, it was just all of
All
the
the
content that came out in
2023.
2023 but missing half of it because Flash forgot.
Yeah, but missing like some of the biggest movies like Friday Night and Friday Night at Freddy's
Ooh.
and stuff.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a I liked Five Nights at Freddy's, and I wasn't even a fan of the video game.
And we wanted to put what was it? The Freedom movie. What was that movie called?
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. We wanted to put that on there, but Flash didn't have that on there. And then he had like 2 pictures for Velma, like the TV series. So we put Velma
yes,
in the
Velma.
legendary section.
Best and worst of 2023 ranked. So in
I just vow
legendary,
half of this.
I agree with Godzilla. I think that was the best movie of the year. What else? What's this?
That's
Is this
One Piece, the show
One Piece. I
on Netflix.
heard that was really good. Yeah, Velma.
Oppenheimer. See, look, we have Velma there, and so people are losing their minds, but then that's supposed to be a stand-in for Sound of Freedom.
Okay, that makes sense. And then
That's why we have the other Velma in trash. See how her head is in trash?
Oh, I see that. Okay. Air. I don't know what Air was. And then this
That's
one.
the Nike movie.
Okay.
Invincible
here. Mario was great.
Mario.
Potato. Tetris, didn't see it. Guardians of the Galaxy was fantastic. Gran Turismo, Spider-Man.
There's
and
no way Spider-Man is better than John Wick 4 and fucking Mission Impossible. There's no way.
Spider-Man
Flash-
was terrible.
Okay, and then in good, I'm not sure what this one is.
That's oh my god, why am I
Something with a vampire?
Yeah, it oh my god, the chat's gonna tell us. It's with Nick Cage, the new Nick Cage.
Looks
Starts
like him
with
as
an
a
R.
vampire. John Wick, Mission Impossible. That was really good. Mission Impossible. What is this? Sus 2?
Sisu.
Megan, I loved Megan. I would put Megan.
Renfield.
Great.
Renfield is that one.
Oh,
Thank you, Chad.
Renfield. Oh, yes, about the Dracula's intern, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Demeter,
another
Picard.
vampire movie.
Everyone was talking about how good Picard was.
That should have gone up to great.
Disagree.
Dungeons.
Shush up, Nina.
Dragons.
You shush.
You like John Wick 4.
Man,
I did.
Mansion. This Adam Driver movie. I don't know which one that.
Oh my god,
was.
that movie was terrible. That should have been an either awful or trash. 65. It was fucking awful.
His face belongs in trash.
Oh,
He's a great actor though.
he
He's got
is.
range.
I don't care. I don't like looking at him. All I think about is Star Wars.
I would have put Barbie in good.
Same.
Oh, trash. Trash.
Good.
No Hard Feelings was not bad. It was way better than I thought.
I was making a case for that, Chrissy. I was like, this should be in good, at least. At the very least, it should be in good. And then Flash was like, I only care about it because I got to see full frontal for J-Law. And like that's the only reason it's getting.
That was aggressive. Not just like, we all remember from The Fappening what she looks like naked. But
Yeah.
this was her like running around, like unflattering looking.
That was
full
next
frontal
level.
nudity. And
Do you think
good
the
on her for doing
Fappening is
that.
going to happen again?
Nah, that's over.
No.
Especially with AI, they can
Oh,
make
yeah.
it now. Nobody cares.
That's true. I have some AI nudes that folks made, and let me tell you, they're a lot better than what I'm actually working with. So
I got blackmailed with or attempted blackmail with my AI nudes.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that's right. That was wild. I can't believe somebody emailed you that.
People are stupid.
yeah, maybe I should just say, oh, the AI nudes are real because I don't know whose nipples those are, but they're great. I'm not sure what this man one
That's
is.
X.
Is this okay,
Or,
X
like
is that with the
Fast
Rock?
X or whatever. Fast X.
Okay. Oh, Fast and the Furious 25
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka, awful Taylor Swift, probably. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Quantum Mania, Elemental.
I've been in track.
What's this party one?
It's some
Black guy.
No, like most of us on the panel didn't know what movie that was, and we were making fun of Flash at the end because we're like, you have this fucking movie and you don't have Five Nights at Freddy's and like Saw and like
Unbelievable. Cocaine Bear was awful. Could barely get through it. Couldn't even finish it. Evil Dead Rise, Scream. I didn't even know there was a Scream. Blue Beetle was awful. Velma, Rebel Moon, Marvels was so trash. I agree on that. I don't know what this one is called. Expendables.
That's the new one.
Aquaman. Didn't see it yet. Probably won't.
I heard he's fat in it. I'm not happy.
Really?
Well, he got fat,
He did get
and
fat.
it's unfortunate. But I asked, I was like, the first movie I watched it because I was promised Jason Momoa shirtless, and he was only shirtless for 7 minutes of the movie, which was 2 hours long, and the rest of the movie was shit. And so I was like, how shirtless is he in this? And they're like, almost never. And he wears the suit because it has muscles in it, because you can tell he gained weight.
Oh wow! So now he's body positive. Good for him. This one, Ahsoka was trash. Wish I didn't see that, but I heard it was bad. Indiana Jones, trash. What's this other one?
Something with Jane Fonda or something. Something about a football movie. I don't know what it's called.
Little Mermaid, Women Talking. Just for the title. Mandalorian. Mike's Last Chance. Didn't hear that.
That's like the new Magic Mike movie.
What?
Someone in the chat just brought up a Cocaine Bear, and that definitely deserved to be on this list.
Yes, it's in the awful category here.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't even see it.
And Doctor Who. Yeah, I heard that was bad too.
That's Flash.
I guess I agree with most of this. I would have moved up Megan and Barbie.
Same. I would have moved down Spider-Man for sure. Spider-Man was retarded.
What'd you say, Lila?
I didn't see any of these movies. The only one, not one. The only one I saw was the kid traffic one.
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, Sound of
That's
Freedom.
good.
That's the only one I saw in theaters.
I still can't bring myself to watch it.
Wait, you're not gonna go watch Wonka? There's little people in there.
Nah, I don't. Do they? What little people do they have?
It's CGI little people of what's
Yeah,
They don't have real little people.
Yeah, that's
no,
so
it's what's his
offensive.
face.
Took away
Aw,
so many
what is his
people's
name?
jobs.
That's
Wow.
bullshit.
Okay, I should be so angry
Is it-
about that.
It's not. Is it Hugh Laurie? No, that's That's House. Fuck. What
You
is
mean
his
the
name?
guy, the main guy, Timothy Chalamet?
No. The guy that's he was the prime minister in Love Actually. What is his name?
Oh, yes.
Hugh Grant.
Oh,
Thank
Hugh
you.
Grant.
Heugh Grant.
He's the
little
Oompa
person?
Loompas.
Oh wow! Now I hate him.
Oh my god, that's right. Because they CGI'd him. Oh my god, that looks so bad. Oh no, I just remember.
Well,
that.
You guys really should watch Godzilla though. Like you don't have to be a
It's
nerd
fantastic.
or have
I
watched any of
wish
the other
I
Godzilla.
could.
It's so good. There's a great love story in there. It's a really fucking fantastic movie.
I
Like,
wish I could because
cried.
I haven't been able to see it because I'm in Mexico and they haven't brought it here.
I don't watch movies anymore. I just go on Twitter. It's like a movie.
Well, Calendar Gate was a movie, that's for sure.
There's just so much. I don't know. I just can't get myself back into
Ooh,
it.
Chrissy, can I share something that was like a positive message?
Happy New Year.
Oh, Cecil.
I thought I was going to have to wait till next year before Chrissy noticed me back there.
You literally were in there 1 minute.
I know.
Okay, here's a positive New Year's message for you
Yes.
guys. Hi, Cecil.
Hello.
Positive
Happy
New
New,
Year
Happy New Year, everyone, and everyone in the chat.
Happy New Year. You know
Happy
who's
New
celebrating
Year.
New Year right now? Let's see.
So this is the dude that played Dawson in Dawson's Creek.
Yes, Dawson.
Dawson.
Yes,
that's
Dawson.
right.
What's his real name?
I forget. That's why I'm calling him Dawson.
It's Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek, right?
not
James
Chrissy,
Vanderbeek.
that's the
I just
other one.
remembered it.
Play it.
Ryan
Okay, here we
something.
go.
Oh yeah, James Vanderbeek.
Here's my favorite lesson of 2023. The cure is in the disease. What does that mean? Here's just a very practical example. A wood-burning stove has soot on the window. It's very, very hard to get off. You can rub it, you can scrub it. I've tried Windex, I've tried different chemicals. I've asked around. Somebody said you can get a wax. All these outside
Have you tried steaming?
off of the window. You know what works magic? Ash. Literal just ash from the fireplace. Dip it in some water, put on a paper towel, and it melts right off like magic. And there's countless examples of this.
What is he running from Martha Stewart?
Snake bite is in snake venom.
I was expecting something controversial.
He's rebranding.
It's a nice New Year's message.
Outside sources.
Use
I was
ash
hoping
to
he was to say the
cleanse
N word.
Outside help. When really, if we just
That would be pretty epic.
into the problem, we would actually find the solution, the cure. Obviously, sometimes outside medicine, outside help is necessary.
He thinks he's having a big brain moment here.
He is. He's saying
He is.
the cure is sometimes right there in the problem.
And looking for
Yeah.
And what he's trying to say is, I love all races, but they should be separate.
Solutions and cures.
Buddy.
Tell that to someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was telling them, stop being lazy. Look inside
Okay,
yourself.
it is a sweet message.
It is a nice
saying the cure, the answer is within you. Get off of Twitter. Just look deep inside, and you can heal all your problems. Look at me with my fancy ass stove and my nice ass cabin, and this with all the monies that I made from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, before it went all crazy, and yeah.
Well,
And
the funny part is it was making me think about you guys, Lila and Chrissy, because you guys were having a really meaningful conversation before we all showed up about getting all looking within, and the conversation you guys were having was really meaningful, and I thought this was actually kind of like.
And then we all showed up. Thanks.
Yeah, and then we all showed up and ruined it.
No,
But
now
you're
look what
having a
happened.
meaningful
It was cute,
conversation.
but we're gonna start a cult, so
Yeah.
Yeah. gonna be
I'm
great.
in for that cult, by the way. Please hit me up. I won't pay you any money, but if you need me to like
You say that
brand
now.
myself or anything like that, I'll do it.
I got a New Year's message. Sometimes you think it's panic mode because you're at the bottom of your 85 proof whiskey bottle and it's New Year's and you're like, this is it. And then you look within and you find 101 proof bottle just waiting.
Oh, look at Steve. Never lose hope.
You're ready to go for tonight, huh? Are you gonna get like drunk as fuck tonight? Is that
You're
what's
not
going
gonna
on?
drink that whole thing, are you?
What's tonight? Yeah. I have in the past, but I would die if I did that.
How much of that big, like, I don't really drink brown liquor. I just drink.
I have taken
Claws
down
and
on
Cosmos.
stream this entire
How
bottle.
much of that bottle could you drink just tonight? Like, just mark it off with your
Now,
finger.
the way I am now, I barely drank. I took off November drinking, and I was sick for December, so I haven't really drank much in 2 months. So I maybe I could take down about a quarter of this bottle before I'm
Okay.
totally fucked up. But I back in the day, I could kill a bottle in a night.
What?
Yeah, man.
A bottle
when
of that?
Cecil was fat, he would drink like bottles.
Back when he was fat and fun.
On Jack
Yes,
show,
just switch
like
to
if
a
you're like,
normal
I've
thing.
gone this bottle and this bottle. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Damn.
But now my tolerance is way low. I take off now. In the last year, I took off almost 4 or 5 months from drinking in the last. So my tolerance is.
Cecil, those glasses look really feminine. Like, are they like Gloria Vanderbilt glasses or something?
These are Dollar General women's sunglasses, and I
knew they were women's, but they're really
they
feminine.
fit over my reading glasses, so that's why.
Right.
I could dig up. I still have those holiday ones that you gave me a couple years ago, Chrissy. The Christmas trees.
Yeah, I can't believe we still have them.
They're somewhere. Huh?
They match. They match perfectly. K-Max, thanks for the super chat. What else happened in 2023? Chrissy, feud wise, do you have a memorable online feud with anyone? My most memorable online feud is probably Keith Olbermann. That was fun. Who's calling me a racist?
Yeah, that was
POS.
funny.
Who is that?
He originally was like, I think, a sports reporter.
He was a sports announcer.
Ultimately went on to work for like CNN, I think, for many years.
He's the guy that keeps like yelling from the rooftops, Anna, about like Trump and like about
his balcony,
COVID. Yeah, and he's like fucking foaming at the mouth. I'm sure you've seen.
He lost his fucking mind.
He did. His brain broke.
A funny thing. Well, I don't know if it's funny, but back in the 90s, Chuck Knobloch, who played for the Yankees, got like the yips for a couple of weeks. He could not throw the ball to first. He would throw it wild every time. He had to go see sports psychiatrists. He couldn't do like any. And then one of the times he threw it, he drilled it to the first baseman. It went into the crowd and knocked a woman out cold. And
my God.
And it was Keith Olbermann's mom that got hit.
What?
Wow.
You could probably pull that up on YouTube.
Is this a true story or are you
pull it
just
up on
making
YouTube
this
and see it? Yeah.
That's funny.
YouTube, Keith Olbermann's mom.
Yankees.
Oh my God, there's a fucking fly in here. I'm going to lose my mind. Dan Bass Milkmaid says, hail to you, Sir Russell Hall. I have to say, ever since I saw the universe itself spread its wormhole in Rebel Moon, human ankles don't really do it for me anymore. Thank you, Russell. K-Max, thank you for the yellow boy. What did Melanie Mack think of the calendar? I always figured Chrissy was more the libertarian side, and then the religious side. Not so many priests show up on Chrissy's stream. Priests? I don't think I've ever had a priest. I've had one pastor, Arthur. Can't remember his last name, but he was the one who went viral over the. Yeah, Arthur Pawlowski.
He's a good friend of mine.
He's fucking awesome.
He's so cool. He's so nice. Like, cannot say enough good things about this man.
He was the one who kept calling the police the Stasi that tried to shut
down
the
brown shirts. Yeah, he kept saying, like,
oh, that
hero.
Yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about.
He's so cool.
He's the guy from Alberta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Fuck.
basically he prayed the cops away. It was so powerful as a religious moment.
I saw that. I saw that video. It
That
was
was
great.
cool.
He was like my hero when like the lockdowns were happening. I was like, fucking love this dude.
Well,
man.
because he said, you know, he
first-
was. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
To do it. He was the first to do it. He was the first, like any kind of religious figure to call it out.
Yeah.
And it reminds I hope it woke a lot of people. The police are not on our side.
No, and I mean, you
fucking
guys
Hey,
are
George
familiar with-
Floyd.
They're not. You know,
some Cecil. God, you're such a black pill person. Some people are good.
I'm watching. There was like some Palestinians in Target today, and they're like,
Oh, I saw that.
going crazy, and the police are just standing there, and I'm like, wow, the velvet gloves for these guys, but the iron boots for COVID protesters. They were getting run over.
January 6ers.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. You know, fuck them.
That was wild.
Deranged Lunatic. Happy New Year's, ladies. You all look great. Thank you, Deranged. K Max, thanks for the super chat. One of the Josie redhead libertarian critics for the calendar is Anna Perez. Chrissy, will you take sides or just play neutral? Perez is a guest on tomorrow, right? Yes, I'll have Anna Perez on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Tune in for that interview.
Can you get Perez Hilton?
Oh, that would be a good one. Russell Hall, speaking of Muslims getting shat on, we've all heard the stories about Dubai involving supermodels and glass top tables.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, you mean like the hot Carl?
They hire they grab
Cleveland
girls off like OnlyFans and whatever, and it's like these princes, and they want to like they will literally throw. I mean, money is meaningless to them when you own an oil.
Sure, yeah.
So they like want to get a girl and then crap on them. Like literally, that's like and at some point you're gonna throw enough money at some girl and be like, yeah, it's a thing. But
That's
multiple
disgusting.
girls, yeah.
Have you participated in it?
I don't have enough cash.
No.
But would you if you did?
Of course.
Not a poor man's game.
So it's why I play Powerball, Nina.
It's why he keeps selling cash grab over and over. He's trying
Howard
to
K. Greg, Happy New Year, gals. Oh man, calendar gate again. No, we will not talk about it after today. Russell Hall, where would Nina be willing to brand herself? Wow.
Right on the boob.
A branded
Which one? The
boob.
right or the left?
You mean
The
like
left.
with a branding iron?
Yeah. For Lila's cult.
Oh,
Dan Bass, Milkmaid, and yes, the picture is drunk 3PO.
We can see that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was asking why. Why poor drunk 3PO?
Oh my god. Yes. Okay, let's see. What do you guys think are some of the most popular resolutions?
Losing
weight.
Yeah.
Getting richer, less screen time, more
Eating
reading
better.
books, eating better. Well, I mean that falls under losing weight, right? Like going to the gym.
Yeah,
to the
like
gym is a big one.
dieting. Yeah, and dieting and yeah, like
it's
all
gotta
that
be
stuff.
This
dieting,
is my year. Yeah, that kind of
dieting
like
and cigarettes have
new
got
year,
like,
new me attitude.
Yeah.
smoking, weight, and probably drugs. Maybe would probably be the top three.
Oh yeah,
like
major,
drink-
all
yeah,
the
or, like,
junkies
quit
out there. Like this
drinking.
is tonight's my last night.
Yeah.
We have to bring in Zia for this conversation because
Zia, have you had a sheik offer to crap on you in Dubai?
I don't think she could hear
I
you
bet.
until now.
I bet
Thank
she has
God.
oil tycoons in her DMs.
Everybody's got a price. Guy, let's go around the horn. What's your price?
Everyone has a price.
To what, get
$40.
shit by a sea?
Like some Saudi prince wants to crap on you. Like
What's the price for that?
For me?
Literally, like
$600
yeah,
bucks.
$600. That's it.
That's 600.
You're cheap.
Really?
Wow.
Is that too much?
No,
It
you're
might be,
For
it might be
you, yes.
reasonable.
Hold on.
For you,
Cecil,
yes.
This is
Cecil.
your price. This is your price to get like actually shit on.
Mhm.
No. Actually, oh Jesus.
You're always talking about how a man can destroy a toilet, Cecil. So just imagine that
Yeah.
happening to you.
It's why I could never.
Here's the deal.
I've that's why I know homosexuality is you're born that way because men know what men's asses are capable of, and like, you cannot talk somebody into that.
What did I come in on? Hi, you guys.
So, I'm sorry. Kim. I'm sorry.
A price to be
I apologize to Kim. She's meeting me for the first time, and she's already rubbing her temples.
Yeah, she's like,
She
what
is
am I
not getting
doing
a good
here?
impression.
I'm just reevaluating my life choices. You know,
I have
I
a
can't
price
blame
if
you.
it's public, and I have a price if it's private.
True.
Okay, wait. What's the
Oh.
public price? That's actually like an excellent idea.
Because
What's
that's
your
gonna ruin your reputation, or at least like very much change it.
I feel like I have to
It'd be
pray
enough
over
for you to
this.
live off of for a little while?
I have
It would
to
need,
pray over
yeah.
it.
I think if it were public that Chrissie Mayr got shat on, I think it'd have to be like
You have to have fuck you money because
taxes taken out. With taxes taken out, like at least $1 million. I don't know. Maybe that's not a lot, but
No,
No, that's not enough. 5.
I feel like for me, because I like watching the pimple popping and like the toe cleaning, it's kind of on brand for me. But I would still say you have to give me at least $1 billion.
$1
hold on, is
billion.
this going on my face?
Oh my god!
Shit on
I'm
me.
sorry, I didn't know fucking
Going on my
Princess
body.
Diana was in the chat today. Oh,
Look,
Bill-
Anna's right.
$1 billion.
You need fucking
Get a
money
real
for
time
that.
valuation on that.
No, that is fuck you money. $1
Yeah,
million?
that's
Are you kidding me?
Exactly. You need
with
fucking money.
taxes
You're right.
and paying off, like I would
$1
have to pay
billion,
off all my family bills.
$1,000 million.
Yeah.
Nothing's worth
I
the price of my soul. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I would
For
say
any
no.
Saudis out
No,
there,
you
I
can
will
put on
beat
it
you.
for $1 billion.
You're not losing your soul. You're just getting poop on. You.
Also, they're paying $1 million. They're gonna fucking chain you up and leave you in a basement somewhere. I'm just saying.
That's
No, I said yes already.
Kim, you dictate the terms. See, I would say like no
Now
shit
they're
on my
just sweetening
face.
the deal.
It's going nowhere near my face or hair.
Cecil's like,
if it's
oh.
just going on my body, and
I
can wear a
value
scarf,
everyone in
like,
this
I
chat
think $1
more
million
than y'all value yourself right now. I'm just saying.
No, hey,
Like,
wait. I said I
On
would
a
never do
hypothetical
it.
funny question.
No amount of money. I would never ever do that.
Well,
No
I
amount of-
appreciate.
I'm
good.
very happy with my
I
life.
know that actually, if
Oh,
someone were handing you a
somebody's
check, I don't think
so-
anybody in this chat.
That's
would
right,
value
Chrissy. That's right, Chrissy. I am better than you.
This is not about
Wow.
a. This is not a contest to see who is the most virtuous here. I understand what people say when they mean everybody has their price, but there's some things that you cannot put $1 price on, especially in
I already did $600.
I would definitely.
you did, and I'll pray for you, and not in a spiteful way.
Yeah, how much is yours? Unironically, Zia, how
Lord,
much is your
please
price?
smite him.
No,
I'm
like
curious.
Lord, please bring him
Mine?
from whatever.
Think of all the good I could do with that money for the children.
Think of
to
all
be-
the exactly. Think of all
For
of
all
the
children.
the good ways that you could spend your time, though. Instead,
Zia, how much would you? Seriously.
No, I'm with fucking Anna. Like $1 billion for someone to shit on my face. Like you have to have
You're
fucking
on your
money after that.
face.
Whoa, you,
Alright.
you upped it.
Whoa!
Wow. Wait, how much did you say, Anna?
No,
Wow.
no.
I believe the chest is the
Oh,
area
chest.
of interest.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Still though, like, all right, chest. But either way, like, I'm with Anna on this. It has to be like straight, like, fuck you money, where you don't. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do after that. Like, you're good for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I can't let someone
Yeah.
shit on me for like even $1 million. That's not enough. No way.
So
Guys, the internet
I've
is
been
forever.
babysitting before, and so I've been pooped on and peed on by like a baby. So I'm just like, at this point, vomit grosses me out more than poop does. But even in this scenario, it's just like, how
This is like
weird and
Dude, that's totally different, Anna. Being shit on by a baby by
my kid
accident. is
pooping on
No,
me.
I know, but I'm saying, well, it wasn't my kid because I don't have children, but I'm just saying, like, how fucked in the head do you have to be if that's your kink? Like, oh, I need to pay someone to let me poop on them. Like,
Because they've run out. They've gone to the edge of degeneracy. You know what I
I
mean?
know, but I'm like,
Well, what
out
it
of
means
all
is that
of
they
the
were likely
things, that's
abused.
what you want. That is what you want.
They likely
We-
have some sort of abuse related to that similar stimulation. Is
I
really
can
what
see
this-
that. Yeah.
I'm like taking this as like a serious conversation, which it's definitely not.
We all know that this
You
is
know,
gonna be
if
this
you
is gonna
have
be
some-
Amber Heard's like new thing. Like, let me go and get
Oh,
shit on by
why?
the sweet
No, no.
guys.
Oh my
Amber
god. Or
Heard.
people could pay her to shit
I
on
bet
them.
how
She shit
many
on
people
them, that's
do you
right,
think
yeah.
slid into her DMs like,
Oh, I
I'll pay
bet
for
you.
you to poop on my
many.
bed. Come poop on my bed, girl.
I'm
She
actually,
would
I
make
honestly
I
thought
bet
after
you.
the trial and
They
after
were
she
like, you know,
quit
you need the
acting,
money.
I honestly thought she was gonna open an OnlyFans and like just
Same.
blow up.
She
'Cause
would
could
make
you
so much
imagine?
money if she made an OnlyFans and then took requests on where to shit for people, and then like
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, okay, like
How did we get here? Why when I show up does this where the conversation?
Because it's
Cecil,
you.
Cecil,
did it.
you
You brought
bring
it
this
up.
stuff up.
You brought
Don't
it up.
ask questions that you don't
Honestly,
want the answer to.
I'm
don't
eating
remember.
right now, and I'm still unbothered by this.
I know. I was gonna say, I love that. First of all, every time I come in, Lila's eating something. It's my favorite. And second of all, she's just like, we're all talking about getting shit on our chest and face, and she's just like, yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
And
I'm
she, like,
Not all of us.
a deer burrito. It's made out of deer.
deer
It's
is really
so
good.
good. Yeah, you know what though? I just think that we all say because we're on camera right now, but you really don't know what you would do if the cash was in your face, $100,000.
That's what
No
I
one
mean.
else was around, you know? And I think a
Well-
lot of people have kinks. There's people in the chat who probably do this for free, who are acting like, oh,
Well, that's the other thing. There
I
are,
love
do it
Lila.
for free.
there are guys paying women to do that to them.
You think so highly of the people in the
Exactly.
chat.
And we all watched Two Girls, One Cup. I searched for it. I looked for
What?
it.
What is that?
I didn't look for it
I looked for it.
Are you
voluntarily.
lying?
Someone showed it to me.
I
They
looked
were like,
for
hey,
it.
look at this. And I was like, oh my God, my eyes.
Wait,
Oh,
who
thank
just
God I don't
asked
know
what
it
it
is.
was?
Me, I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Good.
Nina.
I
Google
still
it.
have not watched it.
Nina.
I don't
No, I'm
know.
not googling it.
I
I've
feel
never-
like
just
I
said it made her fucked
60%
up.
want to call bullshit. I like it. You know, like it was a popular pornographic video of two girls pooping and then eating out of cups.
Oh my God! Why would I
It came
watch
out when
that?
I was in It came out when I was in high school. I feel like I almost like really didn't have a choice. Everybody was watching this thing.
Everybody watched
I
that.
did- I've
Everybody
never
was
seen it.
watching it.
Somebody
I
told me what it
honestly
was,
have
and I was
never
like,
seen it. Never
I
seen
I can't like actually pull up a physical memory of what it looked like, but I know what it was, and it's like the
Ugh.
Tide
It's in my
Pod
memory.
challenge or like any of the other cringe fads that go through the internet. I just think we'd be better off as a culture if we just pretended they never existed.
Chrissy's in the bathroom, by the way, and she says she's sitting down typing. She says, I still haven't seen Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh my gosh.
Good for you, Chrissy.
Good
All
for
this,
you.
Good for,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
all this poop talk loosened her bowels, apparently. So
Nah, she's got a little baby sitting on her bladder. That's
She's
all
gonna
it
be
is.
peeing all the time.
Aw.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was the worst. I mean, like, I'm one of the weirdos that really loved being pregnant. I thought it was so much fun, especially when I could start to like feel the baby moving and stuff. But that is one of the biggest pains of pregnancy is like you always have to pee. It's the worst. And I mean, you know, TMI or whatever, but like
No, my
can't
sister-in-law says the
No
same
need
thing
for
about
TMI
pregnancy.
here.
She says it's like
especially
really great.
towards the end, like getting up like every hour in the night when like you have to like, you know, like roll yourself over just to stand up. It's like a whole production to get out of bed in the first
I lived
place.
for 10 years like that.
See, then you can understand, you can sympathize. But yeah, that is one of the struggles of it, I will say. I loved it, almost everything about it, even the stuff that most people say that they don't like. I really enjoyed, but that was horrible.
Are you gonna have any more kids?
I want to have at least 5 kids.
How many do you have right now?
I have 2. They're 14 months apart, so it's basically the moment that I could get pregnant again, I got pregnant again. And I'm giving my body a little bit of a break, especially because like I've had such a problem with weight fluctuation my whole life. So like losing it, especially with like out the availability to like work out as much as I might like to, is a thing. And I also like back to back, by the time I was done with my second pregnancy, it was like I had been pregnant for 2 years, basically. It felt that way. And so I was just like, all right, like this is your eviction
Take a little
notice.
break.
Get out of here. Take
Aw.
a little break. They're now 1 and 2. They're the sweetest kids ever. They're so smart. They're so funny, and they're just so like wonderful. And I just can't wait to give them a ton more brothers and sisters.
That's awesome. Are they? Do you have like one of each, or like?
Yeah, I have a boy and a girl, Jack and
Oh,
Aria.
nice. That's
Yeah, they're
great.
super sweet. And they're like besties and everybody thinks they're twins and they have the cutest relationship and I'll brag about
That's
them
so
all day
sweet.
if nobody interrupts me. But yeah, it's yeah. I know it's not for everybody, but I definitely believe I was one of those people that was supposed to be a mom and I I can't wait to give my husband a bunch more children.
Oh, that's adorable.
Isn't it crazy? Like a lot of people are just opting out. Like that's a luxury now to have kids, and to have 5, that's like just so much money.
You think about it, 90%, at least as far as like I'm concerned, is what I would say. A lot of that cost is childcare. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. The job I spent a lot of time before I got pregnant trying to orient my career so I can do most of it online at home. And that's just what worked for me. And like instead of spending, as much as $500 a day on daycare, I take care of my kids and I construct my time around when I need to get certain things done, deadlines, whatever. And that way I still have plenty of time with my kids and that's not a luxury everybody can have. Not everybody can just do an online job. And I'm incredibly blessed. And I thank God for that every single day. But, it's what works for me. And at a certain point, especially as they get older, I have a lot of mom friends, the kids start to participate in the raising of the kids. The kids start to participate in like teaching. And even my daughter, she's only 14 months older than my son and she's teaching him how to speak. She's teaching him how to walk. And she's his bully and his best friend. And it's the most adorable thing to watch. And I can't, like I said, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those women that's like, my uterus, it's like crying for another baby. And I would, I would do it as many times as the good Lord. And
Now, are you going to try to keep all these kids from the same father, or are you going to spread it out?
Of course, the same father. I've actually been I've been in love with this man. We fell in love in high school. We were 15 years old. So this is a relationship I know will stick. I've literally been in love with the same man over half of my life. So I would never trade him for anybody in the entire world.
Oh, I'm the same way. Been in love with the same man for pretty much half my life.
Me too.
I was just talking about it with him today.
Yes,
we haven't spent
good,
a day apart in 22 years.
That's so cool. That's such a blessing. Like people like us are so lucky. And I feel like I think about it a lot. Like it's just one of those, like if I hadn't met this person when I met this person, like how different would my life look right now?
Right?
I look at my kids and it's like, it's so cool. I like, they look just like him. So I'm always like, I see like, just like being able to bring up these like much more brilliant, much more capable and much more compassionate people than we are. And like, I know when I leave the world, there are going to be people here who like, matter to the world, who like want to do something to actually make things better.
This is really important for women to know just how important men are and how empty lives would be without us, really.
I mean, I agree. I think men are so important.
We do.
Men and women together, like, they complement each other in so many ways. And they
Julia, you know how fucking lucky you are?
Do you understand how lucky you are? Do you know?
You are?
Jim, the point that you were describing that's supposed to happen much later in pregnancy, where you're like having trouble getting out of bed, like I'm already there and I'm only in month 5. Yeah. Like it's a production to get out of bed or even like switch sides.
I was constantly flipping from side to side get up when my pregnancy. Yep, I totally understand. It's such a pain. And that, I mean, like, but honestly, like, if that's the biggest struggle of your day, how blessed are you? You know what I mean? Like, how wonderful is it that, like, even you get to, like, experience this, like, time, like, bonding with I believe your son, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's so cool. The placenta is muffling a lot of the movements, so I can't really feel, like, kicks per se, but I feel, like, little thumps, like
punches,
little flutters.
I don't know if it's a punch. It's like it feels like you have like you're in a hot tub and the jets are going across your stomach, kind of.
Wow, what a feeling!
I mean, like I didn't feel my son as much as I felt my daughter, but with my daughter, I can sometimes, especially if you like put your hand on the right spot of my stomach, you can feel her reaching out. You can feel her little foot kind of like stretching, or her little hand, and it was like it sounds crazy, but when I always thought I would hate it, I really do. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be like alien. I'm gonna hate it, but like when it actually happened, I found myself like looking forward to like have moments of communication with her. It was so cool. I just like it's like it. all of it is like very surreal and very grounding. Like you really have to like focus on yourself in a way that you've never done it before, and then to like be like kind of have be the only person that's in communication with this little being that's like coming to life inside of you. There's just something so cool about that.
And he's drinking his own pee all the time.
Funny.
Circling back to the Saudi talk.
No, that gets filtered out. It'll be fine. He's not drinking his own pee. Don't worry about
That's what amniotic fluid is.
I'm okay, but it's such a small. It's not like he's swimming in a like a tank
Urine.
with your urine.
That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing him swimming in urine.
That's the only thing I can think of now, too, Chrissy. Ever since you told me that, I'm like, they're just sitting in there floating around in pee. It's like all I can think about.
And swimming in their own pee.
It's like going to the public pool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true.
God. So true. I haven't been to a
raised that
public
way.
pool for years because
Oh,
when I found
There
out, I
has
was
to
like,
be enough chlorine in there to kill.
It's like using the hot tub at Planet Fitness.
Why are
you're
you
a pee?
like
You're
that,
a pee poo. You're
Oh
a
my
pool
God,
peer,
please.
Anna. Are you a pool peer?
Okay, I've told the story before. So when I was in school, like girls were really
Unashamed of it too.
Yeah, no, girls were really fucking mean to me. And so we had a town pool. And so whenever it was the town pool time of year, I would swim right next to those fucking bitches and I would pee. And we would play this game where like you have to throw a penny in and like swim to the bottom. And I would be like, all right, I'm gonna throw the penny. I would pee, get out of the pool, and they would all be like diving in my pee. And I was like, fuck you, bitches. That's what you get.
God,
I
you're so
really
evil.
wanna be disgusted by that, but like
That's
low
so
key,
funny.
that's like the petty energy that I
Dude,
really
they
like.
fucking deserved it, those cunts.
Oh, that's so funny.
They deserved
I
it.
believe it. I believe it. Women are the worst. And like there's
They're
so many
so
women here, and
mean
I'm sure
to
you're
each
all
other.
lovely, but like I was always the person that like met the woman that was like really willing to say or do anything to like mess with my life. So like it's like I always have this like weird relationship where like women either totally like me, they want to be my friend, or they want to sabotage literally everything they come into contact with when it comes to me. So I understand the feminine urge to like pee in the pool so that your enemies are swimming through it.
Meanwhile,
Deserved it.
this $1 billion over here was pissing on people for free.
I know, giving it away.
They
Just
deserve
giving it
it.
away.
Karma.
You could have been bottling it up and
Funny.
Cecil, if I was ever in a pool with you, I wouldn't pee. Does that make you feel better?
I don't believe that with that smile on
Here's
Anna's
the
face.
I don't believe you.
I've
should
been
be a
in the pool with you,
Valentine's Day
and I
card.
already knew this story, and I kind of kept my distance.
Okay, Russell Hall says
That's why you're
you make
chlorine.
calendars and stuff.
Never
You
mind.
should make
Aw,
make
thanks, Russell.
Valentine's Day cards that are like I wouldn't pee in the pool.
Russell Hall, would you give Henry Cavill a number 2 discount Anna?
Oh. You know what? If he told me that, I'd be like, any attraction I had for Henry is gone.
Really?
Aw. Push Up says, just got here. Who's pooping on who? Nobody yet, but the night is still
Anna,
young.
I need you
Damn
to
back.
shit on my chest.
Ugh, the British
Sorry,
accent.
I
is
know.
The internet is forever, guys.
Forever. Russell Hall, what's the
Forever.
worst scenario? Taking the poo in the face, but nobody else sees it? Or you as the face pooper, but it's on film?
Oh God, Russell always
Ooh.
comes in
I would
with
go
these
number
questions.
1. I would go number 1.
Yeah.
I'm going number 2.
In this number 2 scenario,
Yeah,
I
you
would
are,
go
Lila.
number
Yeah,
1.
have it
You
on
would-
film.
You would be the
Oh my
you
God.
would be the shitter.
Screw it. Okay, yeah.
This is
Am I
one of
getting
those
paid
things where I
$1
feel like
million
I don't need
for
an
it?
opinion.
Great. I'd rather be the pooper than the poopy.
I'm
know
with
what,
you.
actually-
Oh, 100%. You should be the pooper instead of the poopy.
That's true.
How
Damn.
about
I
this?
couldn't
Would
be
you
the
rather-
pooper. I can't
So-
poop on command.
Shoot me. I don't want to do either.
Me too.
I don't
Isn't
know.
that-
That's
I
so
feel like
hard.
I've done grosser.
What if there
You're
were
mad.
life and death?
We couldn't have scripted this. We're like, I picked number 2. Better be the pooper than the poopy.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Oh my gosh.
So I had an ag
Not
science
worth
class
it.
when I was in 7th grade, and they make you put on like the long glove and stick your hand up a cow's ass.
Oh my God.
You did
Oh,
that?
Lord.
Yeah, you
What
have
did
to
it
check.
feel like?
Did you grow up on Little House of the Prairie?
Basically, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
I
so
can't
I'm
believe
just
you did
I
that.
feel like there's a lot that gets me like that. It takes a lot to gross me out to that level, but when it comes to that, I don't know. Like, do you want your like people to see you pooping, or do you want to be pooped on? I feel like people will be
No.
sympathetic to you if you're pooped on.
Neither.
Yes,
Right.
I
I,
agree
this is
100%.
I'm gonna
I
take the
can't-
lead from
I
you,
can
Anna, and
barely
I'm just
poop.
gonna say I don't have an opinion because
There
no.
you go.
But here's the thing, like, how would your future be if I guess if no one knows, but could you kiss someone that
You'd know.
had shit on their face? You
You'd
know what I
know.
mean?
Well, how do we know no one here has done it?
That's a good point. Oh
There's no
god.
way to know.
Bye.
I mean, I definitely have
Have a good
questions about
night.
Cecil. Cecil, I mean, he said he'd do it for $600, and I don't
All
know,
right,
man.
500. You
Fucked
drove me
up.
Oh my gosh.
You drive a hard bargain, Nina. 500. Final offer.
So Anna,
John
Pete throws-
Orchard, thanks to the super chat. There is honor in being a parent. There is honor in being a mother and father. Yeah,
an
and guess what?
unfortunate
Moms and dads get pooped on for free every day.
Yep.
I've been
Hey,
peed on by
listen.
my little
Thank you,
brother when
John.
I was like changing his diaper. The pee just shoots straight up, and I was just pee all
Yeah,
over
it's
me, and I was like, "Well,
I
that's
got
great."
peed on by my nephew. Like,
Yeah.
he was a baby.
But
Yeah, it's for
nobody's
some reason it's like
sexualizing that.
not as gross when it's a baby. Like for whatever reason, it
it's
just
like a
didn't
pet.
bother me.
It
Yeah,
didn't bother me either.
no, I was like,
They're
oh,
more
my
hydrated.
brother's peeing on me. This is hilarious. And then I like got him into the shower and got him changed and stuff.
It's
like,
totally
wasn't-
different when it's like a little kid that like
Yeah.
is like your kid or someone else's kid that like you have familial connection to, whether it be like biological or otherwise. It's like, oh, it's a thing that happened. Don't worry about it. You can't handle it yet. We've got you.
Yeah, it just like did not bother me at all. And now my little brother has a mustache. And when I called him on the phone one day, I was like, "Hi, Logan." He's like, "Hi, Zia." And I was like, "Oh God, when did this happen?"
Horrifying. My
It's
kids
crazy.
are
Oh my
only 1
God.
and 2, and I'm already deeply in denial that they've aged past 6 months. Like I can't imagine.
Oh. K-Max says, could there ever be a SimpCast calendar? Who would be down for it from the panel? What would each female wear for it? I mean, yeah, anything is possible, K-Max. I've done calendars before just by myself. Anna's done calendars. I feel like most people do a calendar at some point.
I want to do one.
That's what's tricky is because like everyone's got not everyone has the same money to spend on a photographer, or if not, like right, would I be covering everyone's photographer fees? And then how do I find a photographer in each state that's good? Would there be a theme? Would there not be a theme? There's a lot to think about.
Poopcast calendar, somebody said.
Oh no.
I don't know
it's
if
just a
I'd do it.
picture of everyone's poop, just a screenshot in the toilet.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I don't know if I would do a calendar, but I sell lewd Polaroids for $5 if anybody's interested.
Oh my God.
I would say it gets really, really tricky when you ever do anything with money involved with other people. So you
Yeah.
have to have like contracts and all of that.
True.
Yeah, we'd have to just split it like however many ways of
12
however
ways.
many people did it. Yeah.
Or unless there were like 6 people that did 2 months each or something like that.
Yeah. That's
So like
true.
per month. Each
Wow.
month has a value.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
my picture of me being surrounded by puppies.
Oh,
And then she them.
And she'd be sitting there with like a plate and a
Yeah.
fork and a knife.
Lila's like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
get these
would be so
puppies.
cute.
In a Dalmatian coat.
Actually, that would be really great.
I would be like whatever month covers the most of my body, I guess, because I'm probably not going to look good for many years.
What? No, you're
You'll
gonna
be
look
fine.
fine.
No, you're gonna
Shush.
look amazing.
Just do some hot yoga, Chrissy. I told you my sister-in-law did
Do
it.
baby yoga. That's the best. Well, you
Couple
just
freaking-
baby wear and stretch and do poses with that. It really helps.
Just a couple of weeks, man,
Okay.
and it's gone.
All I did was Bikram for many, many years up until like 2014 or 15.
Do it again.
WAF. Babies don't poop in the womb. I don't think any of us said that they did. First poop is called meconium. It's black and green. It takes a week for the poop to turn into mustard. Well, that sounds lovely.
That's just what we all wanted to
The
talk
more
about.
you know.
That's,
you, WAF.
wow. Way to make it gross. Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point, anybody else who would put out a group calendar, it's going to be like It's almost like, oh, you're doing that because of the conservative dad calendar. It's like,
Heck
it's almost
yeah,
kind of
why
like
not?
a little bit ruined.
By the way,
Whatever.
that
I mean,
calendar
like,
is so PG. I mean,
It's
what?
hilarious that people are mad about that. I can't take them seriously.
like
It's
a
literally
fucking-
like girls
True.
in dresses.
I mean, why not ride the wave? I mean, this is clearly lasting for a long time. That's just called good business, you know. if you can like
Yeah.
swing
man.
off, if you could piggyback. I mean, sure, you could call it a grift, but like if you can make some cool merch, some funny merch off of the parody of this calendar, why not? Like, do you like
Hell
go
yeah.
give it a try?
I feel like Grifter has lost all meaning.
Yeah,
People
like
just call
Nazi
everyone a
or
grifter.
Hitler.
Everyone.
But that
Remember?
is, but that is an actual grift though. Like the anti-woke thing is a
Yeah.
grift. Like
Yeah.
you people are making mad bank off like the anti-woke marketing of whatever it is. Like insert name here.
What separates an anti-woke grifter from someone who is genuinely anti-woke? Whether or not they make
Genuine.
money?
Well,
No,
I mean,
just
you
genuine
can still be,
intentions.
you could
They're
still
just
be
genuine.
anti-woke and be participating in a grift off of the movement. Like,
I have an answer for you. Mike Zero.
I don't
I'm
know who that
so-
is.
Who is
so
that?
shitty.
You
Which
guys,
Like
it's
fake
like a
Star
nerd
Wars
thing.
dude.
So Mike Zero, he just makes like 10 videos a day, and it's the same thing. It's complete bullshit. So he makes up rumors, makes a video on it, and he does that every single day. He doesn't
I mean, you're
believe what he's
advertising
saying.
for him right now.
I
So,
know,
he's
but
doing
so
something
well, you
right.
I
asked
didn't
for
know
an
who he
example.
was
I
before you
wouldn't say that
mentioned it.
that's anti-woke. I would say that that's just somebody that's just making content, doesn't care or believe about
Right.
what they're saying. They're just making content to make content. And so I think that's the difference between somebody that like actually cares.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. I feel like it's actual intent behind it. If someone legitimately feels the things that they're saying, then I don't think that's a grift. I think if they're saying it just specifically because they can get some sort of following behind them or make money doing it, then that's a grift.
Well, I mean, even
Also,
like
that
Sorry,
some
go
people they clearly don't give a shit about the cause. They just see the
Yeah.
money, and,
Yeah.
and they're not walking the walk. They'll talk the talk to sell whatever product. I think like even like Black Rifle Coffee or some other of those guys, like they sell it like, hey, we're right wing, and then when it comes down to it, they're full of
They're
shit.
super not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's the I call out these like right wing, typically
What
MAGA
about Bud
grifters
Light?
all the time who like they'll say that they're America first and they'll sell America first merchandise and then you'll get it in the mail and it's made in China. It's like, could you be any more of a hypocrite or a,
Yeah.
or bullshit artist?
Mhm.
Like
Well,
I,
like
you know,
Bud Light, because they were trying to capitalize on all the woke shit with Dylan. And then
Yeah.
on Christmas, we were watching like the football games, and it's like what Peyton Manning doing all the Bud Light, and it's like they're really trying to
Kid
like
Rock,
make
yeah,
a
like,
fucking
it's-
U-turn, and it's like you
uh,
guys don't care. You're just trying to do
they'll
what you
play
think is
whatever
popular.
side they think will
Yep.
bring them the
Yeah.
most money, and that's and but well, like I said before, I do genuinely believe you can participate in somewhat of a grift even if you believe fundamentally in what you're doing. But like holding, like I said, the reason that I brought up the MAGA people and the right wing people who get their stuff in China is like, at least stay true to your principles. If you're gonna sell like F Joe Biden gear, or you're gonna sell Let's Go Brandon, or if you're gonna sell America First gear, like, and I get something that's made in China, honestly, go fuck yourself. Like, you're the biggest liar and you're the biggest fake in the entire world. Why would anybody take anything you say seriously after that? Because it's clear what your intentions are in that one act. You know what I
Fucking
mean?
everything is made in China now. It's like good luck finding
Yep.
something that's made in the States.
Yep.
I
It's
can
crazy.
provide a list of
Wow.
print on demand people that will do American made products if that's something.
My
that people are
calendar
gonna-
is made in America.
Oh, really? Good for you, Anna. That's
Anna,
great.
that's
Where's it
awesome.
printed?
Cecil, where is it printed? Actually, so it's Cecil's relative that got me in touch with this printer. So it's on the East Coast, though. I
Ooh,
probably
okay.
should find someone in California.
Long Island,
I
yeah.
would love to give
Yeah.
them business.
Yeah, actually, same. If I do a calendar, that'd be cool. And I'm on the East Coast, so it's perfect.
I use a
you
guy
want-
in Michigan for mine.
Yeah, he's great, but
So
it's just expect it 5 months after you put in the orders. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I put together a comedy show and called it like the anti-woke comedy tour, and it had me, Lila, Gino, Keanu, Tyler Fisher. Would that be considered grifting?
No.
I think so. I think a little bit. Like in a sense of like the marketing of it. Like you're not anti-woke yourself, but you're marketing it to the anti-woke.
No, she's pretty
But I
anti-woke.
am
I think it'll be
anti-woke.
like
She is very
I-
anti-woke.
I'm very anti-woke. I would consider myself very anti-woke, very free speech.
I would say, Chrissy, that it's like by definition may be considered a grift, but because it's fundamentally something that you believe, the only reason it could be called a grift is because it's something that you'd make money off of.
Exactly.
Like that's
Who
like
cares?
in
It's
the
not
most
a grift anymore.
in the
Who
most
gives a shit? Honestly, I'm so
one.
sick of people saying, "Oh, it's a grift. You make money." Well, you know what? You should make money.
You should
What's
make
the
money.
problem with
Exactly.
making
This is
money?
what you do
And
for a
also-
living. What's the problem with doing it in the most
Also-
optimal way possible? And at the same time, you're not compromising your beliefs because these fundamentally are what you believe. If you weren't anti-woke and you said anti-woke stuff to make money, it would be different. It's like the people who say to me, like, oh, like if I came out and said leftist stuff, especially with my, we don't have to go into the last name thing, but especially with my last name, if I went full-blown leftist, I would be a millionaire. I would be all over the place like Kellyanne
Maybe you
Conway's
would, maybe
daughter.
you wouldn't, though. You don't know that.
It would be far more likely. I've literally had left-wing producers tell me, like, you will be a millionaire if you just say this certain.
Kim, are you related to Anne?
Yeah, she's my.
They would
not
love
biolog-
that for you.
She's my aunt and my godmother, and but yeah, no, people would love if I was like the like if I had an OnlyFans and if I was like F the Coulter family, like know, female
like
power,
Prince Harry.
People would be super into it, and I just don't want to sell my soul. But like I said, it's really about the belief behind it. So like, yes, Chrissy, would you call it? Could you call it a grift? Fundamentally, at the most autistic definition of the word, sure.
Yeah.
But you believe what you're saying, and you're doing it for the purpose of like sharing your art. So like, no, it's not like a bad grift. I think there is like, as is with everything else, there's room for gray in this situation. So it's like there's a good grift and a bad grift, and
I'm really like
grift and a
vibing
bad
with Kim
grift.
on this because I saw, like, for example, Jeremy from the Quartering tweet out like about that calendar thing and calling it a grift, and I was like, well, so what? Because that
Everything
means
you do is
there's
a grift.
market. Like there's a market for anti-woke people, and then like if that's your thing, then yeah, you should step up and be like, hey guys, like I am anti-woke. Like Chrissy, like yes, you're anti-woke, so you're gonna be like, look, that is my market. That is the people I want to fucking talk to.
We're just
So
trying to
I
get
don't get
asses and
attacked. So I don't get attacked on my comedy show by a bunch of trans people because they know what they're coming to see, because they're coming to see an anti-woke comedian. That's my brand. So yeah, of course you're gonna like say that, but not that it doesn't mean that you're grifting, but it also means you kind
It doesn't mean that you're
because
fake.
that's
You
your
don't have to
thing.
be fake.
I think you should call it the fake ass comedy grift tour. Fuck it.
That would
Honestly,
be funny. See, that would be funny if you were like, if you made a tour and you were like, we're the right wing grifters. That would be the funniest show because it's like it's a play on the situation because
That's actually really funny.
That would be so funny.
I think it's a grift if you change your set depending on what audience you're in. Like you go with the wind. Like, hey, I'm in this town. It's more liberal. I'm going to do a liberal set. But if you're doing your set, you're staying like true to your material and to who you are and what your brand is. It's not a grift. You're delivering what you're selling. So how is that a grift? If you're selling something and you're delivering on it, then that's
I've
not a
had
grift.
so many people call me a grifter because I had a very organic change from liberal to like anti-woke, more libertarian, whatever you want to call it, pro-Trump. And that process took a couple of years, but I always I noticed the people who call me a grifter the most often are people like far less successful. They have no, and I hate to like say they have no brand, and by brand, I mean like they have no voice. They haven't found what their message is, what they believe in. This business is all about like finding who your fans are and
Your
figuring
niche,
out who
they tell
who
you.
wants to come to you.
Like
Yeah.
what are you putting out there that people are buying? Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean,
think
that's what
grift is being
capitalism
overused
is, right?
So much.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, that's literally the definition, and I think like that's why people are so. It's weird because like grifting has kind of become this like blanket statement for capitalism. It's like, okay, I found my market. I'm gonna get capital from that market. But then the other side, or even people within that side, are like, oh, you're grifting off of it. It's like, no, that's called capitalism. I'm making money off you because I have something to sell you that you want. So
yeah,
that is
exactly.
basically, this is literally what, supply and demand, basically.
Yeah, and it's getting to a point where grift is just getting obnoxious. Like, I think someone on Reddit called me a grifter once, and my husband was on there, and he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And like laid out why I wasn't. And the guy backtracked so fast, it was hysterical. He was like, "Well, I didn't mean like in that way," and he's like, "Well, then what way did you mean?" And he had no answer because it's fucking retarded. People just want to use it as a word because they think it makes someone look bad. They're like, grifter.
You could, what we're on the SimpCast right now, like the word simp.
Yeah, it's a
use that
joke.
word all the time.
I think one of the biggest problems is nobody has a sense of humor anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Everything, honestly, everything is funny or
Yes.
nothing is funny. That's fundamentally what I believe. And you might not have the same sense of humor, but if you like, I wouldn't, let's not make it too heavy, but like, I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. So like, I might not necessarily find every domestic abuse joke funny. And some people might think that like they can't attend a comedy show like that because it might be too triggering. I laugh at that stuff all the time because I have a dark sense of humor. But there might be certain circumstances in your life, like maybe you're African American, you're Black, you have dark skin, you're biopic, whatever. So you don't want to hear jokes about that. That's totally fine. But the to say that like any one joke, like who is the arbiter of like integrity in jokes? Who is to say that like you can make jokes about this but not about this? And like everybody can be uncomfortable by any kind of joke, but jokes by their nature are meant to kind of like take digs at things. And
humor is subjective.
It's subjective.
Exactly.
And also,
and to say that like I would never say that like if you can laugh at like a joke about rape or a joke about abortion or a joke about abuse, physical abuse, that like, oh, you're a bad person. That's not true. People deal with things in different ways. So that's what I think, that like the tone policing and the word policing in comedy is such garbage.
Yeah, no, I think that 100% a lot of people take these horrible things and use humor as a way to cope, as a coping mechanism. And most of the time, comedians have been through these horrific things themselves.
They're the
That's
most
why they're
depressed
making
people they tend to
jokes.
be.
Exactly. And they're just out there trying to make people laugh because the world's dark. The world's shitty. Horrible stuff happens all the fucking time. If you can't find a way to laugh at it, you are not going to make it.
Like, think of Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham, like, strikes me as one of the most depressed looking guys that I've ever seen on the internet. But he's hilarious. He spends time, and he almost has like a mathematical equation right to your funny bone. And like, it does take a specific kind of person to be into the Bo Burnham style of comedy. But like, he knows what he's doing, and like, he takes the stuff that makes him depressed and he turns it on its head, and he turns it into something that we can all laugh at together, that can like bring us together. That's like, we can all relate under this one thing, because it's like, oh wow, it's so dark, but it's also something that I understand personally.
Well, look at Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I think if you're a survivor,
I think that there's a difference between comedy jokes and saying something for shock value. Because I think when you're writing a joke, there's an art to it, okay? And if you have an offensive joke, let's say I have a joke about somebody in wheelchairs, I should be able to say that joke in a room full of people in wheelchairs. That's a difference between a good joke or a joke that's just, if you have a joke about Black people, you should be able to say that joke and everybody in the audience is Black. If your joke only works because there's not the people there that it would offend, then that's just not a skillful joke. You might just be saying it for shock value, but I take comedy very seriously. And sometimes, people will be like, I'll go to these open mics and comedians will be like, oh, I go on stage and I just wing it. And it's like, we don't just wing this. This is skilled. We're writing jokes. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody in the crowd has the best time possible, no matter what your background is, because comedy is an art form, and you're not just going up there to say something shocking to offend people. I think you can make anything funny if you're skilled enough and you take it seriously as an art, but not just to go up there and be like, I'm going to say something super offensive and, oh, you guys can't cancel me because I'm a comic. And it's like, no, that was a shitty joke, and I can call it out for being a shitty joke. It wasn't skilled. So
I'd actually be curious. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'd be really curious, Lila, and even Chrissy, to hear like what do you think of comics like the Tosh.0s and the Anthony Jeselniks? Like, do you think that falls under the category of shock value, or do you think that actually breaches comedy?
I don't know.
I have
who those
not
people are.
seen any of their. I don't know if they're currently touring. I
don't think that
watched
this
a
is
little bit of
older. This is
Tosh.0, and I remember. I think Jeselnik, I think, was big in the MySpace years.
Yeah, this is. I mean, like I've dated myself by bringing
again,
up
I haven't
these two
watched
specific people.
enough of his stuff.
Well, I
It
bring them up
depends
to
on
say like
intent, I guess. If you
but like
watch,
who knows intent? That's what
if
I'm
you watch
saying. Like
enough of
I
their
could
stuff
say
to know.
right.
So
I
many
think it
comics.
depends.
sell
Like
out.
if you watch enough of someone's stuff to be like, oh, they're just going to be edgy. They're going for the edgy joke rather
actually,
than
I
like
know
the craft of it, like Lila was talking about.
Did you guys watch the Ricky Gervais or Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, I watched the
that
Ricky
just
Gervais
came out?
one.
I was
watched
gonna
that.
bring up I think Matt Rife needs to stop apologizing for his comedy every single time he goes on a stage, because we know you're a comedian. Just stop talking about it. But a big you actually commented on this recently, Chrissy, like the joke he made where he linked people to the special ed retarded helmets for people who were offended by his comedy. You know what I mean? Like that could be considered shock value, but that was freaking hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
I think what I struggle with the most is
Somebody said Jimmy Carr. Fuck Jimmy Carr. He's just another fucking sellout. Funny guy, but also I remember him doing a bit where he's like castigating the audience for, are you doing research on the vaccine? You fucking moron. I was like, like, fuck you, you fucking shill cocksucker. They so many comics sold out. So like if you go through everybody, I mean, I'm introducing Julia to Strangers with Candy. We've been watching it for the last. That's probably the most un-PC show ever put on television, and it was fucking Stephen Colbert. And there's so much racial and to see what he's become, dancing with syringes and just being a government shill. You see Jimmy Kimmel's like Jimmy Carr is a fucking hack too. What's his name? The Australian dude.
Oh,
they just well, he was never funny to me. But he's like,
yeah, that's what I mean. He deserves to be.
They're very good. All those guys are very good examples of how if the mainstream and the establishment buttresses you into success and gives you the bulk of your bag, right? Like you will bend the knee to them at some point. Matt Rife is an interesting case because you could say he is fundamentally self-made because he blew up on TikTok, but now he got picked up by very good management enough to completely pre-sell an entire global tour for 2024. And if he is apologizing more, I wonder if it's because he is feeling that, wow, I'm making millions and these guys have my nuts. And that's why I guess I really resent being called a grifter, because like people like me and Lila are in the position that we're in because we specifically put our necks out for free speech against the lockdowns, against the vaccines. And we could have kept our mouths shut. We could have said the right things. We could have got picked up by cushy management and be on tour or be opening for like a Burt Kreischer or opening on getting on like a Netflix festival or something. And that would all be taken care of. Like there's a reason why Lila and I don't have dates every single weekend. It's because we say the things that we say, and all of our gigs are literally things that we have to like scratch for and get ourselves, and everything every single gig is fought for. And then if you want to package yourself in a way like, yeah, I'm free speech, I'm anti-woke, just because you're trying to like market yourself and find your own fans, and it's like you're doing your best despite being outside of that machine and outside the establishment, and then to still get called a grifter really boils my blood, because it's like
you gotta just change the term grifter for yourself, Chrissy.
I hope you don't. I hope I didn't
call ourselves free speech, because our dates would be booked out.
I'm just saying you gotta just turn take the term grifter and like change it for yourself, like the definition. Like like
That's sort of what I was
a man that
saying.
says like hustle, like you're a hustler, you're not a grifter, like that's what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I saw that.
And you have a great market and you've done great marketing for yourself. You're not a grifter, obviously, but I mean, all of us in this space have been called grifter for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
And it's just like being called racist or transphobe or fucking homophobe or
mean it.
whatever else, because we've
Yeah,
been
that's
called
exactly
that
it,
the
yeah.
entire time. It's like, it's just fine. Then I am. Like, just own it and be like, fine, whatever. I am what I am. But going back to your like the previous conversation, what I think what I struggle with the most when it comes to comedy is like the idea when people joke, like they don't joke about something, like they say something, and then when it's perceived badly, they're like, "Oh, I was just joking."
Well,
Like, it's
that's
like
a different thing. That's not comedians. I feel like that's the point of comedians is they're legitimately going into it with the intention of trying to make someone laugh. That's the point of being a comedian. If you're just a person and you're just making statements, then you're just an asshole. Like
that was John Stewart's shtick. He would say something serious, and then if he got blown out, if his argument got blown out of the water, he'd go, "What are you listening to me for? I'm just a comedian." It's like, no,
Yeah.
Well,
they
hide under the title of infotainment. They hide
Well, I
under
think-
this like. So I hope I didn't offend. I really am sorry if like you felt like I was calling you guys grifters or whatever.
No,
That's not.
To go back to what Nina was saying, I think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of people do that on Twitter. Well, they'll make like a bold statement or say something like really offensive and then call themselves comedians. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking troll. Is what you are. So don't call yourself a comedian, but you're really just saying the most offensive shit that there's no joke in it. And then you're like, oh, that's just my online personality. And it's like, oh, being a troll is not the same thing as being a stand-up comedian. And I just think that there's so much more of an art to it when you're in person and you're on like people now on social media, we get these like little clips, but when you're in a room and it's just you and the mic and if there's no camera, it's a totally different art form than what is on Twitter. And also just to say about Matt Rife, I think it's great what he's done. He's built his audience, he's used TikTok. My only gripe that I have with him, and as I saw this picture of some girl that went to his comedy show where he performed at places that had vaccine mandates and he signed her vaccine card as like a thank you for coming to my show. So it's like, that's my only thing that I'm upset about is
really,
I just feel like I just feel like a lot of people moved up in the comedy world who didn't speak out or say anything. And it's like, but like, again, before I left LA, I performed at the Ford Amphitheater in front of 800 people. There were a lot of bookers and agents there. All the people that I performed with went on to open for Joe Coy and do all sorts of things. I was the only unvaccinated performer. I was the only person that said I didn't believe in masks. And I moved to Texas, and then me and Chrissy connected. So it's like, yes, I did lose stuff, but I am grateful that I spoke out against things. It's just weird how I feel like now we're in 2024 and people are acting as if 2020 didn't happen and we're just supposed to be back into this comedy world. And it's like, you're in your position because you didn't say anything and you're still not saying anything. And so it is offensive when me and Chrissy are being called grifters when it's like, we're the furthest freaking people from grifting because we could have grifted on with a fake vaccine card. Okay. I could have grifted with a fake vaccine card and promoted this to all my disabled followers. You know, I lost 6,000 fans in one day because I said I don't believe in masks. And I had followers who have disabilities who wrote me that, oh my God, Lila, you're killing us. You're killing people. I was solely responsible for the deaths of millions of people because how dare I say that wearing a mask should be a choice or getting vaccinated should
everyone's
be a choice.
grandma.
Nice
Are
going.
you don't you feel a little vindicated
Lila,
now?
it's not just the people. It's not just the people who were pro-vaccine, like the late night hosts and right, like if Jimmy Carr was too. It's like what really like fucking pisses me off is the majority, which was the silent people in the middle that they were not penalized for not taking a stand. They got to be quiet and get by with their vaccine cards, and guess what? They made out just fine, and they didn't get penalized for sticking their neck out. And it's almost like they have just as much success as the outwardly vocal pro-vaccine crowd.
Yeah, and I also don't think this whole idea of like grifting to have an audience by saying what you believe in and being anti-vax and free pro-free speech and all of that is that's not going to get you the mainstream success that would actually make you more successful. You're taking the harder road. It's not like you're doing it and being like, cool, now money's just going to come flowing in. You're like, now you have to work way harder. You have to build your own audience from the ground fucking up because there's not as many eyes on you. You don't have a team behind you to get you out there. You're not getting deals on platforms where there are millions of built-in followers. You have to do it all yourself. It is way fucking harder. So people think that they're doing that just to make money are retarded because you could have gone the other. That would have been way easier to go the other way.
Yeah.
They often say too that like the people that are talking bad about you are people who are always doing worse than you. And I'm not just saying that as like the mom that's like, oh, the bully actually likes you. But I'm saying like people who feel compelled to say that you're doing things just for the money are not so successful themselves, and they see
why
you
wouldn't you be
being
doing things
able
for the money?
to well,
I don't understand what's wrong with making money. I'm so sick.
Exactly, Lila.
I am sick of this
making up
pretending to be poor so that they get more sympathy. Like, what if I want to be successful? What if I want to drive a nice car and have a nice house? What is wrong with that? Why are we
damn straight?
Exactly, Lila.
They think that they're the arbiters.
Money, damn it! Call me a grifter as long as I'm getting paid. I'm over this. I gotta be this. I don't know.
I'm with you,
nothing wrong
Lila.
with making money. Let's make money in 2024. I'm tired of doing shit for free. I'm tired of going to venues and getting paid in pizza. Okay, I want to get actually paid. I think we paid our dues enough, and there's no need to. There's nothing wrong with making money. And let's
There's
stop
nothing. That's
acting
exactly
like
what I've been saying. It's capitalism. There's nothing wrong with making money. If you're gonna market yourself towards the anti-woke crowd, if you're gonna market yourself towards the woke crowd, whatever is your thing, go and market yourself and make the fucking money. Who cares? Like, just make money and that's it.
Right.
Be happy about it.
The point of the thing I hate is the guys who market themselves as the I'm anti-woke, and they are the most woke motherfucker. Like someone was pointing out, Jim Jeffries is the perfect fucking example.
Oh, he
who is like anti-woke, and he is the most woke motherfucker out there. He castigates people for
who is this guy?
like he's an Australian comic who's like. But his whole thing was like, yeah, like I'll say anything. I'll be so super politically incorrect. And as soon as he got to deal with fucking Comedy Central, I mean, he was like the thought police. He was so fucking bad. He was cutting up interviews to make people like on the right look bad. They caught him because they put hidden cameras in. He did it to our friend. He did it to Zach.
Oh, is that the guy that did Zach?
He did Zach's, where they were showing him pictures of comics, and he was like, and then what they put on the screen was shit that he wasn't showing him. So when he was they were like, "What do you think of this?" And it was like a black Superman, and he's like making a face like this, but he's like, "That's not what they were showing me." Like, so they edited it to make, because he's like a right-leaning comic book creator, so they just fucking torpedoed him, and it was just like he's like, that wasn't even. They were switching the answers to questions. He's like, that's not even. So another guy, that guy Ari, so he's like an Australian. He's an Australian journalist who does like a lot of and he interviewed him. He brought a camera in and taped it, and then he showed the interview, how they cut up his fucking interview, and he had like, here's the real interview. And it was Jim Jeffries doing this, who was like champion of free speech, champion of like anti-woke, and he's the most woke motherfucker. Like, fuck that guy.
Well, and he got so political. He at one point actually used to be funny, and he had a show that I remember watching that was hilarious. I loved it. It was called like Legit, I think. And then he just kept getting and then it just kept getting progressively political and like leaning so far over to the right that it just, you're like, okay, this just feels like you're fucking scolding me. Like, this
watch Strangers with Candies from 20 years ago. Stephen Colbert, funny as fuck. Jim Jeffries was a funny, like these people were legit.
I know.
They're the sellouts. They're the ones that are the grifters, is because they were like, only get
Can we add Eminem to that list?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2024, I want to get paid. I'm going to tell you guys this. I put American History of Voter Fraud on my YouTube channel for free. I did not monetize my YouTube channel on purpose because I was afraid that the movie would get taken down. And guess what? This year, I'm going to monetize my YouTube channel. I need 300 more watch time hours because they've changed the rules again. But I put all this stuff out for free. Me and my husband made documentaries that we put out for free, and we didn't make a single dime from these documentaries. And I'm going into 2024. Like, I'm done doing stuff for free. I've paid my dues. I've done it. I spoke up. I said a lot of stuff about the vaccines. I said a lot of stuff about the stolen election, all of that shit. And I'm done. I want to get paid now. And that's what 2024 is about, because you're going to get called a grifter no matter what you do.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be broke. I would like
You're
to
gonna be called a grifter no matter what. Like, dude, I get called a grifter and I'm like, my thing is freaking reporting good news. What is the grift in that? Like, nobody pays you money for that shit. Okay, it's fine. Like, it is what it is. Nobody's grifting.
It's the same sort of thing with like calling a woman a whore. Like, if you feel comfortable doing OnlyFans or whatever you want to do, and you legitimately are doing it for the right reason, you actually feel comfortable doing it, fucking do it, because people are going to call you a whore regardless. And I always look at, there's this girl that I follow, and it makes me laugh watching what happens to this poor girl. She works so hard in the video game industry. Alana Pierce, that's her name. And I like low-key have a huge crush on her, but she's this Australian woman, and she worked in the games journalists and media for a really long time. She used to be an IGN host, and she worked, like, her entire goal was to work towards being a games developer. So she's a writer for Santa Monica Studios. She works on God of War. She finally got there. It's like her dream job, and she still kind of streams on the side. She has giant boobs, but like, because there's nothing she can do about it. Her boobs are huge. She just naturally giant tits.
Let me look into this. Who is this again?
You're going to want to follow this girl. And there's like,
yes. What's her name?
Alana Pierce. Yeah, she's super hot, but the comments that she gets are she's like, oh, this girl's she's a fake nerd, she's just doing this, look at her sticking her tits out, and she like actively tries to cover them because of the insane amount of comments she gets. Every once in a while she'll dress in something nice and they're out, and like, people are just constantly telling her, does she even work? Can she even call herself a games developer? Like, this is they call her a cam whore because she streams on Twitch in a t-shirt. Like, the amount of hate this woman gets for being actually talented and working for her goals and not going the other route is fucking comical. Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I saw some shit that she says on Twitter, and
because you're not allowed.
Like, what kind of stuff has she said on Twitter? I think I follow her, but I don't really see it.
She did the whole like, oh, men are sexist, misogynist, because they pointed out that the one game developer chick was the basis for the new MJ in the Spider-Man game, and everyone was pointing it out with the photo versus the model. And she did the woke talking points where it's like, oh, all the misogynistic men are pointing this out, when a lot of women were pointing it out too.
I think she might actually feel that way though. Like, I don't think it's a grift. I think she might just be kind of more liberal. But it's just beside the point is she gets that shit regardless of how she dresses. You know what I mean? And what she does. Like, she's not actively out there trying to look hoey in every picture. Pretty. She's really pretty, yeah.
She's pretty.
I don't know. I might be the pretty woman on the internet here, but for everything that I've seen of her, it's pretty much you're the only person I've ever heard say nice things about this girl.
Well, I don't know her personally, and I don't like follow her politics and stuff. I only follow her games journalism stuff.
Well, but that's the thing. Her whole grift is, I'm a woman, so I'm going to call all things like men are getting mad at this. Men are misogynistic.
I guess I'm not following enough. I guess I just like have not noticed enough because I haven't paid attention. I'm gonna have to do like a deep dive now.
Yeah, you're distracted.
Well, no, her whole thing is like, it's all because of misogynistic men, or that's why games are bad. But then she's on Twitch with her boobs out, and it's like, so people call that out. I get that she's got, boobs, but I just, everything that I've seen of her is the exact opposite of the way you just painted her.
Well, I would like to applaud Zia. I love it when sluts stand up for each other.
Thank you. We do our best. I guess I'm gonna have to do a deep dive. But that being said, she doesn't usually keep her boobs out a lot. Like, she actively tries to keep them covered for the most part.
I don't know. Just from Chrissy scrolling through her Instagram, that was a lot.
See, that's so funny because I feel like she could put them on display way more, and she wears a lot of t-shirts.
K-Max says the difference between anti-woke grift versus genuinely anti-woke would be, to me, proposing solutions. Pearl seems like a grifter to me because she just seems to attack women rather than propose bringing the sexes closer. Well, I think bringing the sexes closer together, like what's your what would be her product? Like what would she be selling to make money off of that?
Her YouTube channel. She's
Yeah,
making
it doesn't
money off
seem like
of it.
Pearl's interested in helping people.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the message dudes who are doing badly with women want to hear. It's not your fault. Chicks are sluts. You know, it's like I knew it. I knew it wasn't my fault. You know, it's like,
the same people who call OnlyFans girls whores and all that stuff are the same people who are secretly subscribed to their pages. Because
exactly,
these women would not be as successful
jerk off
as
to
they
them
are
constantly.
if there
I
wasn't
would never,
a
I have
market.
never and will never subscribe to an
100%.
OnlyFans page, and that is horror behavior.
I honestly believe that though, Lila.
And that's
like,
the best part
I've
about it. As a
known
guy or a
people-
girl, you don't have to say that you subscribed.
And
But
I also
I've known
don't
people that are
believe-
like that. They'll literally be like, "Oh my god, like porn is evil, this and that," and then they'll be like in people's DMs, being like, "Can I have like your titty pics or whatever?" It's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, you
That's
see
what
that
makes
a
it really
lot.
annoying.
And also the people
Zia
that
knows.
like, oh yeah, I've seen it so much. But and also the people that legitimately don't care and are just living their life are the real winners. Like whether they watch it or not, and if they don't, and obviously, honestly, the people that don't watch it, like legitimately either don't partake or whatever, usually have the least bad things to say about it because it doesn't fucking matter. They're like, oh, I'm just not watching. You can either
But
watch or
it does
don't
matter.
watch. I
It
don't
does
think
matter. It has major implications on society and the way that we interact with each other and the way that people deal with their interpersonal relationships. And
I
the
think your
effect
mic
of it-
switched, Kim.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but
I kind of like it. It sounds like Britney Spears.
It's gonna be me. No, I appreciate that people have differing opinions on this, but fundamentally, I do think that this has an effect on society. I do think that OnlyFans has an effect on relationships in society and the way that we relate to each other. I think that it's undeniable when you see OnlyFans girls even talk about it. A lot of them, there's this reoccurring theme of having no trust with male relationships because of how people talk to them on OnlyFans. And providing that kind of availability for this connection. I had a roommate who was an active sex worker, and she used to kind of refer to what she did as therapy because they wouldn't be able to relate to their partner the same way that they could with her, and they weren't able to express the kinks or whatever. But fundamentally, that's just a distrust in your relationships. And if there's something that's so kinky or so depraved in your opinion that you have to seek out a sex worker, that's still stepping out on your relationship. And that's still, I do think that there's an undeniable correlation between relationship issues and pornography addictions and sex addictions.
But you just kind of identified that with addictions, and the same thing can be said of alcohol addictions, drug addictions,
Totally,
food
but I'm talking
addictions. This
right.
is
I agree.
addiction, not necessarily the actual thing that's happening, like the porn situation. Because for some people, they
but
can
porn causes it. That's what I'm
not
saying.
necessarily.
Like porn,
Well, yeah,
porn
but then
is the
food
trigger.
causes it, so we get rid of food. Alcohol is a trigger. Let's get rid of alcohol.
I
We tried
think
that. It didn't work
if
with
you have
prohibition.
obese children, you should be treated like a child abuser. So, I do fundamentally believe these things.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you can't stop eating food just because you have a food
No,
addiction.
American foods are a lot more poisonous than other countries. We are, we will ticket you if you don't put your child in the seatbelt, but if you feed your child McDonald's until they're 200 pounds, nobody blinks an eye. I'm just saying, there's so many double standards in this kind of thing where it's like, oh no, you're putting a child at risk, but there's so many other things where they turned a blind eye to it. So
But that's different. You're talking about a kid. You're not talking about consenting adults. That's a completely different argument because you're talking about a child.
No, we're talking about addiction. Let's go back to the addiction comment. If somebody is addicted to pornographic material and somebody will literally ruin their lives over it, it's not even just the addiction that's a problem with porn. Turning to somebody that isn't your partner for any kind of sexual gratification, whether intentional or not, ultimately for a great number of people will put a divide in your relationship because you're seeking sexual gratification from somebody that's not your partner, whether it's in a real situation where you're having sex with somebody that's not your partner or fantasizing about it. It does cause a lot of problems. There's a reason that a lot of people get divorced over it, and this is one of those things where you could say it's a puritanical argument, but the correlation is undeniable. A lot of relationships suffer when one partner is addicted to watching porn, and that's because they're seeking that sexual gratification outside of their relationship, and that causes a rift, even if you don't mean it to.
What about people who don't have partners and who will never get partners? And what if their only form of
how do they know that this? See, I actually have had this.
How do you know? Have you seen some of these men? Some of these men are not going to be with nobody, no matter what. What are you talking about?
Some of the ugliest men I've ever met have been able to bag some of the hottest girls.
No,
I've ever seen
because they had money and power, not because of their looks.
It's
their
not
looks.
because maybe power. Listen. Maybe it's power, but women want to feel protected. Okay, if you can provide stability, I know a lot of hot women who would rather not settle down with a womanizer or somebody who's like a serial porn addict instead of somebody who's going to break their backs to provide for them for the rest of their lives. That's what a lot of these women actually want.
So she has an OnlyFans. It's just one guy who's her fan.
Yeah, I mean, I have an OnlyFans. I'm a pick-me. I wear that very proudly. I just think that, like I said, the pornography industry not only is destructive to relationships, but it provides support for human trafficking and for child rape. Even if you sell content onto a page that also profits off of people who are being tortured and abused, then there's a problem with that. It's like you're saying, like, you won't say that you're anti-woke, you won't like conform to what people want you to do, because despite the fact that it would make you more money, it's morally objectionable and it's completely wrong and it's against your fundamental beliefs. So I'm just saying that, like, porn as an entirety is destructive only because it has created a safe haven for people who actually are evil, who actually steal women and children and men and make them do things for the rest of their lives, who literally even breed children just for the purpose of being able to torture them. And
That's
I know
gonna happen whether porn
this
exists
is
or not.
This is an uncomfortable reality,
Yeah.
but you have to acknowledge, if you go on Pornhub, that is what you're supporting. If you go to these porn pages where they don't verify identity,
Cecil.
you are still supporting an industry where children are getting abused and where children are getting tortured and where women are being held against their will and trafficked. And like I said, I know it's uncomfortable,
You could
but that
make
is
that
the
That's actually
reality
a
of
category.
Well, you can make that same argument about an iPhone.
Yeah, it's literally, you
Exactly.
can
No,
make
I
the same
mean-
argument about anything, and this is happening in countries where porn doesn't exist
But
too.
does that
like
but
this
does that
is
mean
not?
you shouldn't talk about it? Does that mean it's not a problem? It's definitely still a problem. Like, I acknowledge that, like, a slave made my iPhone. That's a huge problem. And there are certain ways that you're not going to
made this, but I'm still going to use it.
Yeah, I'm still going to tweet viral tweets off of it, and I'm still going to say what I'm going to say. But there
My
are
problem
certain ways.
is they still charge so much. They should pass the slavings on to us.
The slaving?
The slaving.
I'm just saying, like, you
love a
can't not
slaving.
acknowledge that that's something
Johan.
that you're supporting by proxy. You can't pretend that you ignore all of these really horrible things that are, like, the same with the phone. You're right. I have an iPhone. I'm guilty. I'm not going to say that I'm not, but, like, I won't say, like, oh no, it's just a phone, it's not a big deal. Oh no, it's just pornography, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal.
It's not.
affects
It's
lot
not
of
a big
people.
deal to me, and I don't think that it breaks up all relationships. I think that sometimes it can enhance
It breaks up
relationships.
the great majority of relationships.
I
more
think that
often
it
than
can
not.
enhance a lot of relationships, and everybody expresses their sexuality in a different way. So for some people, they do it together. Some people watch together. Some people are completely fine with their partner watching something on a screen, especially because I think for most people, it's not an addiction. It's just something that they do as a supplementation, and it's here and there, and they forget about it as soon as it's done. Like I've never had a problem with that. It's never been an issue where I'm like, I'm leaving this guy. If it was an addiction, sure. But I would feel the same way about a guy who's addicted to drugs. Like that's it. It's just the addiction. It's not the substance for me. And the actual act of sex to me is not gross. It's not disgusting. And just personally, I'm a lot more open about that. So I think people should be able to do what they want. If they want to watch porn with their partner, they want to watch it alone. If they like whatever the whole thing is, like sexuality is not a dirty thing, in my opinion.
It's not a dirty thing, but don't lie. Like you are still fundamentally supporting these
I do that with every.
That are profiting.
I buy this shirt is off Shein, and I absolutely know that some poor fucking 2-year-old Chinese girl made this. It's disgusting, but we all do it, and so I'm not going to act like, oh my god, let me just talk about the evils. Like the evils are everywhere. There's no industry that you can support where there isn't some sort of like fucked up byproduct.
So we should ignore Jeffrey Epstein, and we should ignore the fact that Joe Biden.
They have ignored him.
They have ignored him.
You can't hate the player, man. You gotta hate the game, and the game is dirty. It's all over the world. It's fucking dirty. And some people are just trying to like. This is what it is. It's like that. That's why it comes back to the supply and demand, right? There is a demand for porn and OnlyFans and whatever it is because
Heroin.
Society has made this demand. There is a problem. Yeah. There's a problem, and that's why there's a demand for it. Sure, but we got to go to the root of that. If you really want to figure out why people are wanting that demand, that's the thing that you got to go for.
You're not going to get rid of human sexuality. You're not going to do it, and that looks different for everyone. If you think you're going to make everyone want to be completely monogamous and only fuck one person, it's not going to happen. Sorry, and it's going to look different. And some people are going to want that. Some people are going to want to live their life that way, and they're going to seek out and find the other people that want to live their life that way. Some people are going to want to be polyamorous. I don't want to be polyamorous. That's not for me, but I don't judge the people that want to do it because I think they're doing what works for them. And it's going to be different. And some people are just going to, be like open to threesomes, whatever the fuck it is. It's going to look different for every couple, and you have to find what works for you. And I don't give a shit what anyone else does because it's not my relationship.
I care when it affects other people.
I don't really care when it affects other people either. Like, as you know, like it's, I don't care what is happening to someone else. Like I care in the grand scheme of like, I would like most people to be happy, but are they in my life? Not really.
So your Dunbar's number is lower than a lot of
my
other
what
people's
number?
Your Dunbar's number is kind of like the number of people that you can like recognize as having like their own agency. They're like you recognize as individuals before they just start blending into the crowd, so to speak. So like, the number of people that you can see and think of as individuals before like.
No, I think everyone's individuals, but it's I'm not living their life and they're not living my life.
I think that stripping and prostitution has been happening since the dawn of time. And I think a lot of reason why people are mad at OnlyFans is now like a woman doesn't need a pimp. Like she could just do it herself.
She can do it herself.
Agency over it and make money if she wants to. The people you should be really mad at are the men who are paying for it. There's a reason that men are paying
I can be
for
mad
it.
at both.
But the girls
a lot of these women are
getting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I don't know. I just think I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, every addiction, whether it's porn, drugs, booze, anything, is just
out here shaming me. I feel attacked.
Well, okay. As far as ugly people go, I think some of these ugly guys, like their only chance of talking to a woman maybe is like talking to a girl on OnlyFans, because if they could talk to a girl in real life, they would do that.
I think that's a great point, Cecil.
Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to play a little ditty for you.
I'll do a shot.
And Happy New Year to you all, and may it be filled with wealth and prosperity. Oh, thank you, Spectral. Unless you earn your money through untoward means.
Untoward.
Very untoward.
Untoward.
John. Hello, Zia and Anna. Thank you, John, for the super chat.
What the fuck? Wait, he spent $20 bucks. He could have said all of our names.
Now he only likes me and Anna.
He only knows how to spell our names.
He made a very conscious choice.
Humor is like a child with cancer. It never gets old. That's funny. Thank you, Zeus. Ginger Adventure. As long as you're honest, Jeremy from G&G is great at memeing it. Thank you, Ginger Adventure. Ginger Adventure again. Grifting is easy, hoeing is hard.
Can
Does
confirm.
look like a full-time job. Yeah, and again, like if you're, you could make the
Just
same
remember
argument, like,
that
if you're a bartender and you work at a bar, are you responsible for somebody blacking out and spending all their money on booze? And
yes.
Well, you cut them off when they ran out of money or they were too drunk, but the bartender who takes over for you on the next shift doesn't cut anybody off. So it's like we only have control over so little. Our kids, our spouse, I guess, our family, and I guess I tend to
Chrissy-
just focus on the things I have control over.
Chrissy,
And I
may
just
make a
focus on being.
suggestion?
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to. I'm sorry, Cecil, for doing this to you, but can you switch Zia's spot with Cecil's because she keeps getting covered by the super chats, and I mean, Cecil, come on, like you wear a mask usually to cover that up, so.
Comic books and cahoots. Cecil, tell us about Cash Grab Second Chance.
It's available now on Indiegogo, but for a limited time, it will be fulfilling soon. So
He really wants to hook up with the Sikhs, so
I want you to. I
back
want
it.
people to buy it because I do worry. I put a second chance out because people were in really states of depression from missing it the first time, and I really just afraid of people doing. You listen. If you miss something first chance, that's forgivable. If you miss it the second time, that's unforgivable. And I feel people will, harm themselves if they miss out this time. So please do it for your family. Do it for yourself. Pick up Cash Grab Second Chance before it's too late. Thank you.
Will there be a third chance?
Cecil was like, why did it get so quiet?
If there's money involved, there'll be a third chance.
God, I think my Wi-Fi must be really shitty where I am.
Where are you?
Poconos.
Oh,
I'm guessing. I don't know.
God, I wonder if you guys can even hear me. Just upstate. Upstate New York.
We can hear you, but you're on a little delay.
Wow. Did you guys know 2024 is a leap year?
yes, I did.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that.
I
It's
knew
about
that.
time.
Me and Peaches almost did that. Like, got married on that day, but I was like, no, I want an anniversary every year.
Oh, that would have
An anniversary every 4
That's a power move
Oh,
for
that would
him.
have been so cool to have one every 4 years. That's just like an epic blowout.
We could have. I was like, because I picked February, and I was like thinking about it, and then I was like, no, I want one every year. I'm gonna be extra. So.
Wow. I'm really having a hard time here. Okay. Is 2024 a leap year? What is leap day? What to know about the elusive 366th date of the year?
I mean,
It's
is this
just
really,
an extra day. What's the
it's
big
really
deal?
hard for people to concept. The Earth rotation is not exactly 24 hours. It's a little more, and after 4 years, it adds up to a day.
I'm more into this clickbait
That's
article.
it. That's if you even believe that it rotates.
New York shoppers should think twice before buying from these two stores. I want to know what two stores it is and why I should think
Well,
twice.
apparently it's only in New York, Nina, so it doesn't affect us. It just affects Chrissy and Zia.
And Cecil.
Boo.
Cecil doesn't shop.
Wow. See, I don't think
I make my own
enough people
clothes.
talked about the 2020 leap day.
No, I think people forgot about
Yeah,
it. There was
it's a
too
big
much
deal. It's
other
another
stuff
day.
going on. In
Yeah, there was
2020.
way too much going on in 2020.
We were
I don't think
all
anybody
being
cared.
forced to stay home. We couldn't go to church. We couldn't go to the grocery
wasn't
store.
until
we couldn't go
March.
to parties.
That was a leap year itself.
2020, yeah.
It was the leapiest of
February
the years.
29th was right before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll have a February 29th this year. Hooray.
Yay.
Big fucking deal.
Happiest of years. I like
It's
it.
only, I think, difficult, right, if you have a birthday or a wedding or something on that day.
I still think that's so cool. I mean, you could still choose to celebrate your birthday or your anniversary or whatever every year, even if it's not the exact day. I mean,
No,
like, if
you're
I-
not allowed, Cam. No, I'm sure.
No, that's where you. That's the hill you're
quarters
gonna
of
die
math.
on. Yeah.
Okay, I meant to get to this earlier when I was talking about it. Most common New Year's resolutions according to new statistics.
Always lose weight because
Oh,
every
boy.
goddamn January at the gym, I want to
Quit
murder everyone.
Quit vaping. I can't. Now it's vaping instead of smoking because we successfully shamed the smokers out of smoking. Shame does work sometimes, guys.
Yeah, best day to quit vaping.
The best day to quit vaping, it would be a Wednesday morning. So like you quit Tuesday night and you don't vape Wednesday morning. And I say that because most nicotine withdrawal peaks somewhere between day 3 to 5. So if you quit Wednesday, you're going to run into your peak nicotine withdrawal symptoms on Saturday and Sunday, days where most people don't work. And this is good too, because it gives you a taste of going to work without your vape. And it gives you a taste of experiencing the weekend without your vape. Whereas if someone just totally quits on the weekend, the chances of them relapsing on Monday are probably higher because they haven't acclimated to going to work or school without a vape product. So quitting Wednesday morning, I think, is your best bet when you're quitting. Clean slate.
God, I want to vape right now so fucking bad.
What about quitting?
Quit.
Quitting vape. I think the biggest thing a reason to quit vaping is you look like a giant homo.
Yeah, that's what
it looks like. You're just sucking a dick every time.
And
Nobody looks good.
I remember like a couple. I think it was over her birthday, but like a friend of mine that I was with for Anne's birthday was like vaping, and she was like, "Just smoke a cigarette. You look retarded." And it was like, I totally understand.
I smoked cigarettes for 2 years.
Lila, I smoked for like 10 years. I've quit for like 10 years, but
I started smoking cigarettes when I was 13 years old.
Same.
It was just like I lived in New York. It was the thing. We sat on the stoops and we smoked our cigarettes from the Indian guy who wouldn't card us and was like always really nice to everybody who went to our school. And it was just, I wish I could go back and fight myself, but at least I quit now.
So working out is the top resolution. 40% of Brits are committing to more exercise in the top spot there. The second most common popular spot with 35% of people was weight loss, while 33% of people want to eat more healthily. Again, nobody wants to eat more healthily or go to the gym. It's weight loss is number one. People can shroud it in, I want to feel healthy. It's like,
you don't want to be fat anymore.
really. The only reason why people care about eating healthy or exercising is because when you're thinner and you have less excess weight, you feel better and everything is better. Your life is better.
You're healthier. Typically.
Health and well-being remained a pretty popular theme, saying 13% want to lower the amount of alcohol they drink. Lower it, not quit it. Just lower it. And
my girlfriend smokes cigarettes. She was going to quit tomorrow, but I told her not to, actually, because I was afraid she might put on weight.
Oh, Cecil, you know what? You're worrying about her health. I understand. It's a very actually sweet of you.
Yeah.
It is an appetite suppressant.
Okay. 31% want to tackle financial goals. That's a good one. 24% want to reduce stress. 22% want to enhance their emotional well-being. Again, like this is a very ambiguous goal. Shit, like goals like this mean nothing unless you have an action plan and like measurable steps you can take. You can just say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be as stressed," or "Oh, I want to feel better." It's like, what is that? How do you quantify that? Does that you have to make like, okay, is that the gym 4 times a week? Is that meditating 3 times a week? You have to have it has to be measurable or else you're not going to accomplish jack shit.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, that's why a lot of people
and here's a good vaping
drop off.
Look at that guy. Might as well be a cock in his mouth.
This fucking guy. Yeah, you do look
gay.
Super
So
gay.
Gay.
Extremely. Gay. Jacob Brottenbot turning grifting into riffing. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Jacob.
I'm literally still
Okay, yeah.
stressed that
So-
you like think I called you a
so
grifter. I
far-
really don't think that.
I call
Who?
myself.
I
she's
get
talking
called
to
a
you,
grifter
Chrissy.
every day. It's like it's meaningless at this point.
I literally, I just like
it doesn't even faze me at this point.
I don't literally think that you're a grifter. Like I said, when I was trying to like explain it, like the most autistic definition of a grifter is somebody who like says something and makes money off of it, not to make money off of it. So like I don't think that like when people say that like you're a grifter, they're saying that like you're trying to make money by saying one thing and meaning another. But I definitely don't think that you fall into that category at all.
Kim is trying to be the first person in history to dig herself out of a hole.
I'm trying. Well, no, it's because I actually care. I don't actually, like I like Chrissy and I like Lila as people, and I don't want them to think that I actually would like call them a grifter.
It's not a bad word anymore.
It's
yeah,
not.
it's like, yeah.
You gotta change.
I just wanted to clear that.
Yeah,
air,
maybe I wouldn't.
I
If
feel
I
like I
didn't
haven't
lose
made
an
enough
entire
money.
salaried
I'm upset.
income, because I wouldn't get. If I didn't lose my entire salaried income for like an annual income, because I wouldn't get the vaccine, like maybe I wouldn't have to grift so hard.
Right.
But that's where I'm at, I guess.
No, I mean, like,
so
you
at
guys
4
are-
p.m. and
Mhm.
Okay, at 4 p.m. I forgot to mention this. The England, Ireland, Portugal, Scotland, Ghana, Iceland, and Greenwich rang in the new year. And then at 5 p.m., Cape Verde and Azores, I don't even know what the fuck that is, rang in the new year.
The Azores, that's where
Let's see.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, some of you.
Happy New Year, people.
I don't like
those places.
As holidays go, I really don't like New Year's Eve, because I feel like there's way too much pressure to like it's even worse than like Christmas or Halloween or your birthday, because like New Year's Eve, it's like you get one shot at a good time, and if your plans blow or something happens, it's like you don't get another shot, and it's too much pressure, I think, New Year's Eve.
So for like New Year's Eve, I know you guys are gonna think I'm weird because, well, you're New Yorkers especially, but our New Year's tradition is to watch Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. We've been doing it for like literally 20 years.
Well, watch it tonight, because there's a good chance there's going to be a huge terrorist attack or something. So that was
Really? Oh, I'm gonna be watching it tonight for sure. But it's just interesting to me because, like, I wonder, like, do you guys ever go to that? Like, have you guys ever gone?
No, New Yorkers don't go to that.
You don't go to that?
No real New Yorker goes to the ball drop. That's some tourist.
They like legitimately actively try
It's
to
for
avoid
tourists.
it. They're like, yeah, fuck this.
That's funny. That's funny.
As a
to me. I
born
always
and
watch
raised
it.
Yeah,
New Yorker,
you know who
I'm gonna
goes
tell
are
you.
people
Are you
people
on it
who
the
move
night?
to New York and then
Chrissy's
claim
on a
that they're
delay.
New Yorkers are the type of people that go.
Yeah.
I
I'm
went
on a
when I was a
delay. Fuck
teenager.
me. Junior.
I went when I was a
Grifter is the
teenager
N-word,
in the
use it
80s.
wisely.
Sorry, Chrissy. In the 80s, it was different because I was a teenager in the 80s, but nothing was penned off. Everything's like penned off now. And you
Yeah.
could drink openly. It was like everybody would like, they would let teenagers would be drinking in the streets like openly. But then
Dude.
once Giuliani came, he kind of like got that shit under control.
He cleaned it up a little bit. Dude, Cecil, man, because like I said, I've been watching that show for like 20 years now. It's been a long time since I've watched that year, like every year. And I remember 2020. Oh my God, it was wild to watch Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with like everybody like with masks on their face, and like it was just the most ridiculous fucking thing. And then like every single commercial was like brought to you by Pfizer, and I was like, this is wild. And like it was so crazy. And there's people kissing in like masks like at the ball drop. I was like, oh my God, it's a
How
fucking
can you kiss
nightmare.
in a mask? That's so
End of the
stupid.
world.
It was fucked, Zia. Like it was mental.
I don't think I even watched that. I'm pretty sure last New Year's I cried. I forget
Aw.
why.
I cried when 2020 ended. Like I was crying and I was like, thank God this year's fucking over.
Crying happy tears.
Yeah.
You're
Just
like,
I was
"Fuck
so
this
over it.
shit."
I was like, we made it. We're finally out of it.
But it was
See,
still
I thought
another
it was just
year.
me with pregnancy brain crying it out, but it's good to know I had some camaraderie.
You're not alone.
Am I still on a delay?
Yes.
I'm gonna jump out the window.
I feel like we keep having these like collective moments of silence.
Yeah. We're waiting for Chrissy to like read a super chat.
I'm a bystander at this point on this. I'm a bystander on this show. Okay. What I do, I always appreciate a Facebook look what happened 6 years ago moment. So this is me from 6 years ago. This is horrible. Why would Facebook let me remind you of this? Like, this is you at your absolute worst. Oh, it's so bad. It was just like I had it's just like worst possible 15 seconds of snowboarding. Like Frank's like, let me record this. And
It's actually kind of
tell everyone
adorable.
where
That
we're
is
at.
so
Like,
funny.
it's so cute. I don't know what it is. Like watching someone struggle through
Somebody
something,
gave
like
me-
crying, is adorable.
Your hat is so
Somebody
cute.
gave me this like hat. This like cat. Yeah, this someone gave me this hat with cat ears on it. And I was like, I just called myself the snow cat all winter, but I am better than this for sure. So don't get it twisted, y'all.
I'm better than this. It's been 6 years.
That sounds like a cope, Chrissy.
That was 6 years ago. I can't freaking snowboard this year because they don't want to miscarriage on the mountain. Everyone's so up in arms about it.
Oh
Ugh,
my
how
god, that
uptight,
poor
goodness
baby.
gracious.
Fucking baby,
It's
man.
so annoying. You can't do like we went to this museum, this little museum in New York. Like, what was it, Monday? No, it was Wednesday before the Stand Up New York show, and I couldn't do this stupid little like VR 3D ride because I was pregnant, and it was like nothing. I don't know. Apparently, it was like not a
Really?
big deal. So I don't know. I'm starting to get annoyed at like the things I can't do.
So
I'm
many of
pregnant.
them are made up, but whatever.
Why would you?
It's so stupid.
Why would that hurt the baby? I don't get
It's
it.
just honestly, it's
know.
literally just a liability thing. They don't if and when something might happen, they don't want to be held responsible. So that's the only reason it's there.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because in the off chance you're one
Yeah.
of those people, they can't be like, oh, we permitted that because that means that they're legally liable.
Oh my god, this comment is funny.
Yes, Miscarriage on the Mountain is going to be the sequel to Terror on the Prairie. And it's like, really, you're worried about me on a ride? P.S. Like, let's cut to all the times I've tripped and fallen, like downstairs, on the ground, like over the last 5 months.
Dude,
Forgetting how to swallow is also. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. But like
Whoa.
actually
never forget
choking on your own spit and like stuff like that is actually really common in pregnancy. It's something that like it's like I don't even know, like pregnant women are like not meant to survive in these
What? I've
situations.
never heard that before. You forget to swallow?
Swallow.
No,
What?
not
That's what she
forget to
said.
swallow, but like you end up choking on your asphyxiating on
said.
your own spit and stuff like that more often. That's like a thing that can happen during pregnancy. It's very common.
That is so crazy, Kim. I've never heard that before.
It's super weird. I love to advocate for pregnancy because I do think it's wonderful, but there are a lot of like weird things that can happen to you in pregnancy. Like I said, I found myself Googling like, why do I keep like swallowing, like inhaling my own spit, and like that's
so
such a weird thing
crazy.
to Google, but like it is validating to know, like, yes, that is a thing that can commonly happen during pregnancy.
You know what's so crazy about pregnancy is like, and this hasn't happened to you, Chrissy, but like the people who have like, I guess, late term pregnancies, or like, like the people who are like, they have to be bedridden for like 9 months. Like that would, oh my God, that would drive me insane. Cause at least you're active, Chrissy. Like you can go out, you've been traveling, like, you're living life like a normal person. Like, and
I've
then there's
heard,
bedridden people.
Nina, in this book that I'm reading, I've heard that actually bed rest is based on very outdated data and is not the best.
No, you should be as active as possible. Exactly. Yeah.
Chrissy, have you seen the ballerina farm? She's literally about to pop right now.
Really?
Oh,
Again?
I watch her. She doesn't look pregnant at all. Like
She's super
so
pregnant. Have you been
thin.
watching recently?
No, I said she doesn't like, she's very thin. She's a very thin pregnant woman.
She's always like that, though.
How many kids is that now? Like 6
This
or
is number
7 or
8.
something?
It's number
8. Holy shit.
She's Mormon.
That
God
lady is
bless her.
insane.
Wow.
That's
So this kid could
And
basically
she's
walk
Mrs. America for the second
That's
time.
not how it works. It's a muscle.
My
Excuse
grandma.
me, they don't just like.
I know.
My grandma had 9. My grandma had 9 kids, like on my dad's side.
Holy moly.
And we all thought that was freaking nuts.
Yeah, no, even like a woman at my church had like 5 under 5, and I was just like, you should be sainted. Like, how do you do that year after year? It's so difficult.
What do you, wait, I have a question. What about pregnant sex? What month do you stop? When you start hearing the water sloshing around? Is that like a
Well, no, apparently, like unless you want to induce early, then you shouldn't have sex unless you want to induce.
I mean, I was
What
gonna
about
say
the kid is like in a
you
wave
can-
pool?
You could still have sex.
I know, but the kid, the kid's got to be getting thrown around like an action
No.
park wave pool.
No, dude,
that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
My dad
and
always
actually,
used to make
the
jokes about denting their heads.
semen does help facilitate labor. So if you're like very close to your due date, often like a doula or a midwife or someone usually more holistic and not from the hospital will say like try having sex with if you're past your alleged due date. And that's a whole other thing. Like your due date is just an estimate in the first place. Like I had doctors saying like because I technically was almost 43 weeks with my second pregnancy, but I never had my period. So there was no way to determine when I actually was, got impregnated in the first place. So they kept saying like, oh, you're going to have to be induced because you're going past the date. But it's like that date is just an estimate in the first place. So like, unless there's stress in the baby or whatever, there's no reason to do that because for all intents and purposes, like what they considered 41 weeks might have been 38 weeks. So it's also objective in that.
Yeah, well, at what point are you like, will the kid, this is their apartment at this point. You're just throwing a dick.
Yeah, pay rent, start like doing a job. I mean, like I was already at that point with myself. I can't speak for anyone else, but like I said, my kids are 14 months apart. So like the moment that I could get pregnant again, I got pregnant again. And by the time I was 8-9 months, I was just like so ready to not be. Like I loved it a lot, and it was so cool to like feel him moving around, but like it did feel like 2 years in a row of pregnancy, and it was just one of those like
Johan, that's why I love you. I can't bring that up.
So yeah, but I mean, but don't you think if the kid's like big enough to like start like hearing voices and stuff, they might have a memory of like the penis coming in and like moving.
Oh Jesus Christ!
No.
Cecil.
I mean, like
smoked in the brain.
This just speaks to how bad the sex education is in America. It's not as if like
You're talking, I'm a sex ed teacher, Kim.
Cecil,
you're not.
you need
That's
to
lies.
write a comic about this. Can you please make a comic book about like fucking some chick?
And like the baby is in. Well, there's already a whole lot of like jokes about like. Like I want to beat up the bald guy that comes in here and keeps spitting on me or some kind of joke like that. Like,
yeah.
But it's all in good fun. That's not how
You gotta avoid the soft spot on their head.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
These poor people. This is not literal advice.
You guys,
Write it
I'm
down.
excited that Gypsy Rose is out of prison.
She's the one that her boyfriend killed her mom, right? She was being like severely abused. That's the story.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Am I the only one? Sorry to interrupt you, Zia, but am I the only one that just really wants to like smack Zia right in the ass, like just have a really nice handprint, like right there, like right there. Right there you go.
No, but I don't want to smack her ass, but I want to punch that mic in the face for blocking that.
I always do that. The mic's always in the way. During Christmas card, I've got to like so you can see the ass. You got to be able to see the whole thing.
Wait, so who is this woman and why is she out of prison? What happened?
She's I remember reading about this story. I didn't do like a deep dive, so maybe Lila knows more than me, but this girl was being like severely abused by her mom. Like her mom kept saying she was sick or something and she wasn't.
Oh, she was doing like Munchausen.
What is it called? Munchausen
by proxy. Yeah.
She was poisoning her to keep her sick.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
She found out and she killed her mom.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, her boyfriend killed her mom. She she met a boy, but she was complicit. I guess they like schemed together or something like that. So she got
There's
her
some
mom
Lifetime movies about it.
Was disgusting.
She's lucky she'd be trans today. I think Munchausen by proxy cases have dropped to nothing because they just trans their kids now for the attention.
Whoa.
Shit, that's a
That's
good
still
point.
That's
still
heavy.
Munchausen's
I
by
didn't think about
proxy,
that.
in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a way of Except now they get
Getting
where they would
attention
be like,
through
with
the kids.
not only would they when they do the Munchausen, they would get, oh my God, this poor woman, she's got a sick child. They give her all this admiration.
Yeah.
Then there would be like the outside. If you get caught, you go to jail. Now there's no downside. You get like lauded, wonderful part. You get
You become famous now if you do that. Like, but okay, so how long did this woman, and I'm guessing the boyfriend got caught too? Like, how long did they get to be in jail for?
I honestly, I don't remember. Is it 20 years? Holy shit. I know that the boyfriend probably got more time, right? Gypsy Rose, the girl, she's out now. She got less time because I think she didn't commit it. So hers was like a conspiracy charge or something like that. And his was the actual murder. And this was a while ago. I'm really glad that she's out. That mom was fucking sick and disgusting.
I'm like looking her up now because I've never heard about this.
Someone in the chat said she got 11 years.
This is why I say like
Wow.
the law is autistic. Like in situations where it's like, we even acknowledge crimes of passion. If you're being abused and tortured, like maybe that should be taken into account. And not to mention, like, we pretend that like prisons are a place for reform and rehabilitation, but they don't lie to you when they get in there. It's a form of punishment. And they, the guards are, my husband served 3.5 years. So the guards there were never hesitant to say, well, like, if you can't do the crime, don't do the time. Pick a lane. Is it about rehabilitation or is it about punishment? Like it should be, it's pretty cut. It's, clear what the intentions are. And it's also like very profit driven. So in her situation, I feel like any like reasonable individual, and maybe I'm not a reasonable individual, I'd like to believe I am, but would see a situation like that and say, I can understand why she would lash out and try to kill the person that put her in that situation. And maybe you would put the equivalent of what like a drug program is, like some kind of mental rehabilitation, some kind of asylum at the very least, that isn't about, like getting criminal charges for something that's like a reaction to like a very unstable and unhealthy situation.
When your husband went to prison, were you guys together?
My husband actually called me from prison. He used to, I think it's a romantic story. Maybe some people won't, but like in order to remember.
Wait,
No,
we
met when we were
in
15. My husband was in prison. He I like to say he's the real life Nicolas Cage. He stole Alexander Hamilton's dueling pistol from the Washington Crossing State Memorial Museum during Hurricane Irene when there was no power. It was the first time he had like crossed Xanax and alcohol, but and he was the only one who was over 18. But regardless of any of that, like your question was, did we reconnect in prison? No, we had connected when we were 15. He had gone through that situation. It was an embarrassment to the state of New Jersey, so it really wasn't like a big thing that they publicized. But he used to do push-ups in his solitary confinement cell to remember my phone number. He would do like sets in my phone number, and he called me and he was basically like, I'm sorry that I messed up. I don't want my life to look like this anymore. And I would really like for us to rekindle, and I'll prove to you that I'm the kind of person that deserves to have you as a wife. And I moved 3,000 miles back to the East Coast, and we rekindled, and the rest is history. We have 2 kids and we're very happy now.
That's crazy. What a crazy
Think about how bad that crime has to be to embarrass New Jersey.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it really is. Think about it. Like the judge in his case even said, like, you were arresting teenagers for dime bags of weed while like nobody was protecting one of the most like historically significant areas in New Jersey. So like it was a big embarrassment, and it was a situation that they didn't want to be super publicized. So, but like I said, he is the real life Nicolas Cage. He literally woke up from like a fugue state with Alexander Hamilton's dueling pistol. Like how cool is that? Like it's if you're gonna have a criminal history, at least have one that you can laugh about. Like
badass.
He got killed in Jersey because it was legal. Dueling was still legal in Jersey, so they had to go from Manhattan over to Jersey to do it.
I was just looking up this lady that you guys are talking about. Check out this headline. It says Gypsy Rose Blanchard wants kids after release, but fears hard conversation about mom's murder. Like, oh
that's
my God.
how do you explain that? Where's my grandma? Well, well, honey, my ex-boyfriend killed her.
Well, that's one of the things I've been saying. The internet is forever. you can't escape from your past when everything is digitized and available and, you know, a couple of easy searches.
It's crazy.
Are you guys excited for the Epstein list to come out? Supposedly,
No, I think it's
because they're not
It's
gonna do
already come
anything
out.
with
We already
it.
know so many people on the list. And the problem is, like, maybe it actually is a step in the right direction because, like, even 20 years ago, people would have said that Epstein is never going to get in trouble and nothing's ever going to come from it. But the fact is, people who were persistent, people who were willing to say, like, people who were willing to stand against the mainstream and say, no, there is a ring of pedophilic elite who, you know, get blackmail on each other by putting them in situations where they have sex with minors so that they can control what they say and what they do. This is a real thing. Like, even 20 years ago was considered a total conspiracy theory, but now everybody knows who Jeffrey Epstein is. The big name is, oh, he didn't kill himself. And even if it takes another 30 years, it would be unfortunate because people should face consequences for doing something so evil. But if it comes out, it ultimately is for the best.
It's going to be a very curated list.
It's funny.
Yeah,
because
isn't it like
I agree.
It's
But
gonna
I
be
think it's a step
redacted.
in the right
Now.
direction because, like I said, even 20 years ago, nobody would have ever said, even the list would have been considered. Nobody would have been talking about it. Nobody would have been doing anything about it. So who knows what it means in another 10, 20 years? Who knows? Like, it's any step towards fighting against this level.
Will Bill Clinton be on this list?
Yes.
He is on the list. We know he's on the
I
list.
know, but will he be officially
He
on
is the
like,
list.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? You know who I think is not probably on the list is Donald Trump, because if he was
He's
on the list, they would have destroyed him.
He's on the list, but not the Lolita Island list. And also, we have to remember, and I will make sure that it's said on this podcast, that Donald Trump was one of the only people in the elite who, when they found out, when Jeffrey Epstein was hitting on people at Trump Tower, Trump was the one that said, oh, he's doing sketchy shit. He went to the FBI. He was the one who said, I no longer affiliate with Jeffrey Epstein. He's no longer welcome at any of my facilities. The list that he came out on was it traveling from New York to Florida or Florida to New York, I'm not sure, but the only list that I fundamentally care about is, and I keep saying the word fundamental, I don't know why that keeps coming up, but like the only list that I care about is Lolita Island. The only list I care about is child rape island.
They're going to put Trump on the list because for political reasons. That's the only reason they're even releasing this list now, is so they could put his name on there and anything to hurt him. They're going to put him on the list because he borrowed a ride like on his plane, but never to the island. It was just that's what.
Well, it's like guilty by association. If you ever
would
take
they
a
have
picture
him
with
on
somebody.
just to like devalue the other name?
Exactly.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I've heard that there's a lot of like people's names
well, we
on there
can't
that
count
like
anyway,
never
'cause Trump is
went
on.
to Lolita Island. Like they never went to like that thing, but
They're going to mix it up together just to muddy the water and be like,
Right.
these people are on his plane, and it's like that's not the same thing as being on the island with kid. Like, but they're going to that's what I feel like they're going to do. There's going to be a big sock
Agreed.
out where they're going to give everybody who was ever on this guy's plane, which is a lot of people, because they run in these circles where they share private jets, and it's just the way it's done. And
But
they'll be like,
the people that we should be concerned with, we don't know their names. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. And like Jeffrey Epstein, while he is like a big player in all of this, is just a pawn. He is not even he's not a rook. He's not a knight. He's not a major player in all of this. And that's what people need to acknowledge. They offer him up as the sacrificial lamb so that they can make, they can save face and say that they're making progress against fighting this kind of thing while it's still totally going on in the background. I'm still also of the fundamental belief that like Jeffrey Epstein may not even be dead. Like
I think you're right. He's a
I
CIA
think
agent. He was set up by the CIA to get as much dirt to control
and they were
power
the
brokers.
police, the CEOs that were in charge of watching his cell never faced any criminal charges. Gee, I wonder why that is. Maybe because there was nothing criminal there in the first place, and it was just a giant cover up so that we would stop talking about it. But guess what? He's a meme now. He is a meme, and everybody knows that meme. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, lol. But there's still people whose names we don't know. There's still children who are being abused. There's still women who are being abused. There's still, trafficking networks of all kinds, whether or not they're affiliated to Epstein's Island. But that is a focal point that people should still be talking about.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere and was installed as this guy, and he befriended every fucking rich, powerful politician, actor, any power broker possible. They were collecting information and blackmail material on everybody they could. He's an agent. People are saying Mossad. It might be Mossad. It might be CIA. It looks more like, to me, I think it's CIA. But
well, I think
a little bit of
Mossad
column
is
A,
like
a little bit of column B. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a thing. Like a lot of it is blackmail. Like they'll take an influential person, or like allegedly they'll take an influential person and they'll wine and dine them, and they'll say, we'll fly you to this private island and you get introduced to a hot young girl, and they say you wake up in the morning hungover, like coming off of whatever drug you're on, and they're like, we got a video of you having sex with a 12-year-old girl, 15-year-old
that's
girl,
every room,
and now
had
you're going to say everything we want you to say. You're going to do whatever you want because this will ruin your life. So like that's a big part of it.
Well, that's why I also believe, like, I don't even think you can
Yeah,
get
so why
on
would
the
they have that
ticket.
come out?
What's that?
So why would they have that come out if the people if the powers that be have this set up to control people, they wouldn't let the accurate list come out. I'm very
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think
I don't think they would either.
I'm a lot. It is distraction. Like I said, to distract people, like you just need a nugget of the truth, but you still need to include something that's true in there, because that way people can point to it and say, oh, the rest of this might be legitimate because this part is true and provably true. That's the best kind of lie. That's the best kind of cover. And like I said, that's why we know Jeffrey Epstein's name, because there are people who are way darker and way more entrenched in this than Jeffrey Epstein, and it's very unlikely that we're going to know any of their names anytime soon if we, don't figure it out like long after they're dead.
Wesley Snipes is way darker than him, and I don't know
Kevin
if he was.
Spacey.
John Legend is way darker than him. He's on the list.
And I don't know if he was a passenger on the Lolita Express, but he was passenger 57. So
Apparently, Michelle Wolf is on the list.
Oh, that explains so much.
Maybe they're just doing like
good for her.
Do you think that they got her like a 13-year-old boy, or was it like?
I don't know.
Or
it's
she
like,
facilitated
you wonder how some
helping
people
bringing
get
people.
plucked out to be famous. Some don't.
Yeah, it's wild too, because I watched a set of her stuff before.
My
It's
internet's
sort of the
pretty
same
fucked.
way I feel about Aziz Ansari. I remember, like, I understand that comedy is subjective, but I just don't get it. I tried. I watched an entire special. I sat through the whole thing. I don't think I laughed out loud once. And I kind of feel the same way about Michelle Wolf. Like, it's odd to me that you see this stuff and you're like, all right, okay, but they're so famous. How did this happen?
Well, Aziz Ansari played his character on Parks and Rec. That's literally like, he was like, oh, people laugh at my character on this show, so I'm gonna take that and make it into this persona, and like hopefully it'll carry over. And it wasn't good. I mean, it was like Dane Cook. Like forever people were like, oh, he's so funny, and then collectively everyone just realized like, oh wait, he's really not that funny. And like I feel like
Dane Cook was actually funny.
Dane Cook was funny. Agreed, Lila.
I think that you get, this is what people love to do. They love to build you up just to tear you down. And if you get big enough, then it's time to tear you down.
I don't think he was as funny as people initially like claimed he was. I don't like. I think a lot of the hype around him was just hype.
I don't know. I saw stand-up sets, and it was actually legitimately pretty hilarious. Like I
remember like seeing some of his stuff, and I thought he was a little overrated. Like I didn't think he was like that funny, but he was funny. He had funny moments.
Any comedian that can get that big, I'm like, you go. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's great, but it doesn't mean that they're like actually funny.
It's so hard.
You figured it out.
You know why stand-up is so hard? Because you go to an open mic, and some people are Michael Jordan, and some people have Down syndrome, and you both have to take turns. You know what I mean? And that's what sucks about it.
Yeah.
So it's. I don't know. I would love to get to that point where I was so huge that people were like, she's overrated. She fucking sucks. And I would just be in my like bed with all my millions of dollars. Like, yeah, I suck, don't I? That'd be great.
I suck, don't I?
There's people who say Dave Chappelle
Hashtag goals.
is overrated.
I don't want
Every
to sound.
single successful comic, there are tons of people who say they're overrated and they're not funny. Like literally, I see it every day. People say it about Chappelle. People say
Dave
it about
Chappelle
Chris
is
Rock.
not
Well, like I said,
That is
comedy
not
it's irrelevant.
comedy is
Dave
subjective, so maybe I'm
amazing.
just maybe it just doesn't tickle my funny bone, and I shouldn't speak for other people because I'm not speaking for other people. But I do feel like they're like people like Dane Cook, like they go through, like even Matt Rife I think might go through this, where it's like they go through like an uptick where like people like it seems as if the universe agrees that they're hilarious, and then almost all at once there's like that starts it down, and it's like, oh well, maybe they weren't actually that funny. And
Like,
you know,
I think like for example, Amy Schumer is fucking super overrated. Like I'm like, I never laugh at any of her jokes. Like I'm just like, I don't think you're funny at all.
I like the joke she made about her pussy smelling. You know that one?
God, it's terrible, man.
I
No,
like
my problem-
people who built their own audience. Like I think
she
Dane
found
was
her
probably one of the
audience.
first people to utilize MySpace or something, so he was able to build his own audience. Then there's people who are, have agents that are kind of just like shoved in your face, like Amy Schumer. There's a lot of people that perform at like these main clubs who they're not really like a name that's going to bring out people. But if you're performing at a club that's going to get a ton of people, regardless of who's performing, because everybody wants to go to the Improv, doesn't necessarily mean you're the person that sold out the Improv. People are going to go to the Improv because it's the goddamn Improv.
Sure.
Right.
My problem with Dane Cook is he married a girl 26 years younger than him. I mean, what the fuck could they even talk about? Be honest. It's just,
You have a problem with that, Cecil? Really? Really, Cecil? You have a
I
problem
hate-
with that? Huh?
yes, I hate to be
Cecil.
that guy, but yes, it's disgusting.
Disgusting,
It's
really?
weird. I know you're so gross, Cecil. You're terrible.
But wait. Dane Cook, I never really thought it was funny, but I actually like him. You know what I mean? Like I see interviews with him. It's like he's a likable guy. He got ripped off too by family member, and I don't know. He seems like a good guy. I just never dug his comedy. But
even Tim Allen
I like
tried to
him.
throw
Like,
him the bone a couple times.
Yeah.
like,
It's
including
fine
him
if,
in,
like,
Last
people
Man
like him.
Standing.
Yeah, he's okay. Like I'm glad he's successful. Like whatever, but he's not my like. He's definitely not somebody I would lay down money to go see. You know, it's just
Yeah, the other guy that I always thought was a little overrated was like the puppet dude, but I mean that takes talent.
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham. Like, I mean, that takes talent, like what he does. But I was always like, I don't care about your puppet stuff. Like, I was like,
I
don't really
laughed
care.
at his stuff initially. I did. That's another person who got a leg up from Tim Allen, by the way. But he was able to hit the mark at exactly the right time to be somebody that was remembered, because like he hasn't had his own special in a long time, and we're still bringing him up.
Well, I think his Biden dude is funny now. Like the
Oh, yeah,
old
the-
dude.
oh,
that
the,
looks exactly
Walter.
like Biden. Yeah, like that's
Walter.
funny.
That was hilarious. That was so good.
Mhm.
That was like actually topical, and yeah, you're right. It was good.
a lot of the people in the chat are just saying I'm jealous of Dane Cook for being able to. You're probably
Jealous.
It's all jealousy.
Who should we raid? Let's see. Who is live right now? Who deserves a SimpCast raid? Let's see.
Ooh, Mark the Cyborg is live.
What are you guys all doing for the new year? Are you guys chilling at home? Are you guys going out anywhere?
No, I'm chilling at home. I might actually fire up a stream after this and hang out on mine a little bit.
Yes, me. I'm streaming
Yeah.
some snacks at
Ooh.
8 and then hanging out at home.
Ooh,
hanging out.
Okay, in the meantime, let's see. Maybe we will raid Film Threat. They could use a little love. All right, let
They're
me see
doing
if I remember.
they're doing the drunk 3PO repeat stream.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that
Yeah.
is.
That like they just have the clip of
Oh,
Jay.
Chris Gore brought that up last night on Camel Thoughts, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And he like had to explain it, and it's just Jay. It's just like a clip of Jay, just like sitting there and staring.
It's just a
and then
clip
it,
of
like,
Jay sitting there.
loops
Oh,
around.
okay.
It's so weird.
All right, we'll raid Ryan Kinnels then. All right,
There
let me
you go.
copy that link. That's I don't understand the context of the Jay clip. I guess
He told me last night
don't
he
get it.
went like he was streaming and then like all of his computer screens went blank, so he thought that the stream had ended, but he was still there. So he was just sitting there like looking at his stream, and everyone's just like going off, like telling him he's still there, and he's like, can you guys even hear me? But like people have taken out the audio now, so he just looks like a weirdo that's just sitting there going like this.
Where do I even put the redirect link? See, it's like if I'm on customization, I'm on redirect. I can't even edit there.
Has he allowed you? Because you have to allow the channel.
Oh, strange. Okay, maybe it's a thing that I can't do for anybody. All right, fuck that then.
Fuck it.
Just go over
put
there.
the link in the
Where can
chat.
people find
and then
you?
they can
What's
go.
coming up? Lila Hart. Other than, of course, seeing us in San Diego next
Yay,
weekend.
San Diego. Yeah, just go to LilaHart.com. I need to get 300 more watch time hours before I can monetize my channel. So maybe play one of my videos in the
Get up in
background.
there.
That would be great. Because 2024, I'm trying to make money. I want to grift. I want to be a super grift.
Lila, I'm so sorry I paid you in pizzas. In
What a
2023.
slut.
I
Okay, but I'm
promise.
saying Chrissy is the only one. I want more. Okay, that's what I mean. Chrissy, you're the
Amazing.
only one. I'm just trying to get
You're worth
more
it.
out of life. Okay,
Fuck yeah,
that's
Lila.
it. Thanks, guys.
For sure. You fucking deserve it, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Zia Land.
I'll be streaming later tonight at 8 p.m. if y'all want to stop by. I'm trying some snacks. We're gonna
Zia.
talk some
Oh.
bullshit.
By
Probably
the way, you
talk
said,
about
did you say stripping or streaming just now?
streaming. Yeah, I didn't
Maybe
tell
a
y'all
little
I
bit of
have a new
both,
career.
Cecil.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's true. There will be some stripping if we hit bikini. Stripping and snacks and streaming and talking about New Year's resolutions. It's going to be a fun time over on my channel. It's just Zealand if you want to subscribe to that. So I'll be streaming at 8. And yeah, that's about it.
Push-ups. Oh, happy birthday to Grumpy Push-ups dog. Thank you, Push-ups. Row House, thank you for the 5. I first discovered Matt Rife when he hosted the AVN Awards. For Chrissy, is this a comedy pinnacle or not? What do you mean by pinnacle? How do you insult a room full of porn stars? Oh, I've been to AVN, not to host, but to live stream.
You should
And
host.
Oh, that's cool. You should
that-
be a great
yeah.
host for AVN.
Yeah,
Holy
you
fun
should
shit.
gig.
host that, Chrissy.
Yeah.
I did a little red carpet when I was there. I think I went in either 2020. I think I went in 2020 or 21. It was a hoot. Nina Infinity.
Thank you for having me on. Happy New Year, everybody. You can find me on my channel, Nina Infinity, probably a little bit after this as well. I'm just going to go live and hang out with the New Year's crowd chat. I also have a new channel, Nina Infinity Gaming. So I'm going to be trying to put like all my gaming stuff over there. If you're interested in that, go and subscribe to my gaming channel. I only have like 94 subscribers right now, but I'm planning on building that in the new year. So yeah, go and give it a sub. That's
Fuck
it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Get up in there. Sub to Lila, sub to Zia, sub to Nina. NG the Merciless. Happy New Year. See you in San Diego. Oh, I'll see you there. Are you
By the
coming
way-
Friday or Saturday?
By the
Cecil.
And by the way, NG
Oh,
the
it's a
Merciless
puppy.
is it's Ing. NG is Ing the Merciless because the real guy is
Okay,
Ming.
well, I don't speak Asian, but thank you.
I don't speak Ching
Cecil.
Chong talk.
I don't speak Chink. Where can people find you, Cecil?
I'm just letting you know the joke is Ming the Merciless, so he's Ing the Merciless.
Oh, I don't know what that is either.
The picture is Ming the Merciless. I got you, Ing. Anyway, I have my comic book available on Indiegogo, cash grab available now, limited time. Please do it for yourself, do it for your loved ones. I don't want you harming yourself because you missed out on this, which is almost a 100% certainty that you will at some point go into a deep depression if you miss out on this, and probably take your own life. Other than that, I am doing Tuesday night show. I'm back. I missed a bunch of them because I was sick for the last month. But I'm doing Tuesday and Thursday Jack show with Anna, who's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jason Webster, thanks for the super chat. Happy New Year, everyone. May all our dreams and hopes for the year come true.
That was nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yay!
Kim Coulter, where can people find you and your dog?
Oh, well, you can find my dog and myself at Coulter Culture. I'm across most platforms. I tend to post more on Twitter these days. But I also produce every morning, weekday morning at 8 a.m., the campaign show on Rumble, on Twitter. And this new year, I am going to be the dungeon master for a Dungeons and Dragons campaign featuring Ramsey Paul and a couple of other really great content creators. I encourage anybody who wants to be an NPC or maybe even a recurring character, whether it be good or bad, reach out to me. It's going to be a really fun show, and I would love to include as many people as possible. I think that there's too much woke D&D stuff, and maybe it's a grift. Call me a grifter. I want to be the anti-woke D&D campaign. So check that out. That's going to be available on Rumble and alternative posting platforms.
I love anti-woke D&D. It's great.
Yay.
Well, then join us. We will roll
Grifters,
you
all of you. I recommend
Keep Orcs Black is my
tomorrow, Monday the 1st, at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing Anna Perez. So I think she was more on the opposite opinion of the calendar gate stuff. So that won't be the only thing we talk about, though. I swear. She's pro demonic calendar or anti whatever. She's but we'll talk about other stuff, I'm sure. And then let's see. I'm flying to San Diego on Wednesday. I'm gonna be making a couple of appearances at OAN. Me and Lila are gonna be hanging out. Then we got the mic drop Friday and Saturday. Mic Drop San Diego, 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and then come see us in Dallas January 25th, and then come see me in Morris Plains, New Jersey, February 24th. May be able to sneak in some other local gigs before April. Thanks again to our Pink Boy Super Chatters, Disco Cobra, and Spectral Citizen. Appreciate you guys so much. Subscribe to this channel. I think I just hit 90K. I really want to try to get to 100K.
1 million 2024.
Get to 100K before the bean is born. That would be nice.
Oh.
And subscribe to everybody here. Follow everybody here on Twitter. And just have a really awesome new year. Like, you guys are the best. We appreciate you so much for watching and commenting and just your presence, man. Let's go over to watch Ryan Kinnell's. I don't know how to like whatever.
Just put the
redirect,
link in the
but
chat
you guys
and
know
be
how to
like,
find it.
go do it. Go rate them.
Go do it. Go do it, guys. Okay, let me I have the link. See, this is why I need people to work for me one day. I'm going to put this link in the chat, paste, and go. We're going to Ryan's stream. Love you all. Happy New Year. We will see you in 2024.
Happy New Year, everybody.
God bless you. If no one told you to